300, a meaningful number throughout all of sports. It represents a perfect score in bowling. On the gridiron, 12 NFL quarterbacks have surpassed 300 touchdowns. And on the ice, 300 wins, a milestone achieved by just 37 NHL goalies. But on the baseball diamond, 300 has even more significance. 300 wins, a number eclipsed by just 24 pitchers. 300 strikeouts, a benchmark only 18 pitchers have surpassed in a season since 1900. And 300 starts by a pitcher and catcher, a number reached by just 3 battery mates in the history of baseball. Today, this pair of Cardinals legends join that exclusive club and further cement their legacy as one of baseball's all-time great duos and etch their names in the record books once more. It's Waino and Yadi together again for the 300th time.
Wisconsin, it's the final leg of this long road trip for the Redbirds, and the Cardinals opening up a 3-game set against the first-place Brewers. We get you set for Game 1 right now on Bally Sports. Let's get you updated on the wild card standings in the National League. The Birds 2.5 back, and there you see Philadelphia moving up ahead of them. 2 in back of Cincinnati, who still holds down that second wild card spot. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome inside our Bally Sports Midwest studios here at Ballpark Village as we open up this edition of Twitter Cardinals Live. Scott Warman with you. We are joined by former Cardinal Brad Thompson. BT, great to see you. The Cardinals taking 2 of 3 from the Reds want to do the same thing in this big weekend of baseball against the Brew Crew.
That's it. Look, that open got me all jacked up. I'm ready for some baseball here in this one, watching those 2 guys go to work. But you're right. You took 2 of 3 from the Reds. You took care of business, and that's what they're going to continue to have to do. We know that this is going to be a tough battle to get into the postseason for the Cardinals, but it is all laid out there in front of you. There's plenty of opportunity in the month of September.
Well, Brad, as we know, it is a monumental milestone for both Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina tonight. We are joined by Jimmy the Gat Hayes for the very first time, and I'll tell you what, Jimmy, what an accomplishment for these 2 Cardinal legends.
No question about it. Between all the individual accolades and awards that Yadi and Waino have piled up over the years, you could pretty much fill a warehouse. Tonight, they hit a huge milestone, and they will do it together. Tonight will mark start number 300 for the duo as they become just the 4th battery in baseball history to get to 300. Mickey Lolich and Bill Freehand topped the list at 324. Mike Schultz says it's really a milestone that defies description.
It's hard to capture how impressive it is on so many different levels. The fact that individually both of them been able to play at such a high level, because that's the thing about anything that requires longevity in competitive sports. You know, they don't let you do it because they like you necessarily. You get to continue to do it because you're good at it. And those 2 guys have been really good at it, and they've been disciplined and individually, and then they've been able to sync up as a group and do some amazing things for this organization. The relationship is very close, and 300 starts together. It's just amazing to me, and it's.
Cards made a move today. Junior Fernandez goes on the IL. Mike Schultz says it's a lat issue that will unfortunately end the season. The Cards recalled Jake Woodford from AAA. Jake was 2-0 over his last 2 starts in Memphis with a 2.77 ERA. Mike Schultz says the reports on Jake have been very good.
Got a chance to go pitch. This is a guy, that younger guy, and didn't get a chance to pitch a ton last year. Helped us out clearly. Has been a part of our club this year, but we got some depth figured out with our starters and our bullpen, and it allowed him an opportunity to go pitch, which young guys need to do, and he pitched well. More recently, has thrown the ball very well. Fastball commands have been good. 4-seamer, sinker. Secondary pitches have been favorable as far as how we'll use him. He's built up. We have our starters at the moment, so he'll be in the bullpen and.
In other news, Mike Schultz says Jordan Hicks, Wade LeBlanc, and Justin Miller will all throw side sessions tomorrow. Scotty says depending on how they look and how they recover, they'll determine what their next steps are.
All right, Jimmy, thank you so much for the update on those gentlemen. And BT, obviously you're very familiar, close with Waino, along with the Yadier Molina. Just an incredible accomplishment that those two guys are going to have tonight.
It really is incredible. It is. And Schulte laid it out perfectly. And one word that really resonates when I hear him talking about these guys is discipline. Like, it takes so much to be able to be ready day in, day out, year in, year out. And days like today, and specifically speaking of, Waino, the pitcher, the fifth day, that's the fun day. All the work happens in the days beforehand, and all the work happens in the offseason to stay ready. And both these guys work so hard. They prepare so much to be able to be ready for these moments. I'm just pumped up for them. What a milestone.
Well, we continue to show Adam Wainwright his accomplishments in his career in Cardinal history. Well, let's take a look at what he's done all-time among active pitchers as we kind of look at the resume here. And you think about it, when you look at some of these numbers and where he ranks all-time, again, active pitchers, you're talking about guys like Kershaw, Verlander, Scherzer. I know I'm forgetting several others, but this is something where Waino sits at.
Yeah, it is incredible. And you got to remember, too, throughout this incredible career of Adam Wainwright, he's also missed significant time due to injury. He had Tommy John missed a year. He had the Achilles missed time. Like, these numbers could be even more. And this number 300 that we're talking about, I think about where they could be. I mean, these two guys would be leading all of baseball, the history of baseball, if it weren't for that. But it just preaches, again, to the discipline, to the fight that these two have.
Well, Bradley, as we know, when we think back to Yadi and Waino, I think many people have the vivid memory of the NLCS getting Carlos Beltran here for the final out. The Birds go on to the World Series, of course. Final out for Yadi and Waino against Brandon Idge to win the World Championship back in 2006. But then, of course, Waino left the bullpen and as a starter, and man, he was in a groove for a while there. As you mentioned, 2011, Tommy John surgery, missed that season. But remember, runner-up Cy Young Award back in 2010 and 2013. But again, injuries, unfortunately, for Waino Martin. We remember this game in San Diego. He was fighting it just to get to the third inning, and there you see what he accomplished in 2018. Only 8 starts, and when he left that game in San Diego, there were some that thought, man, is this the end of Waino's career? But then, of course, we know he had the huge bounce back, and of course, maybe the highlight of the last year is 39th birthday. He goes the distance. The Cardinals needed the innings. They needed a win against the Tribe. And Waino provided that last year on his 39th birthday. Of course, this week, turning 40, and he is pitching so well. And, of course, he has to be our Lindell player to bank on. He's only the National League Pitcher of the Month in the month of August. And really, when you think about it, in his latter days of being 39 years of age, you look at some of these numbers, Brad, it's just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, we're really stretching it with this player to bank on here with Adam Wainwright, aren't we? Yeah, his numbers have been otherworldly. As you mentioned, the guy turned 40 years old last week, 5-1 in August, over 7 innings per start, a pristine 1.43 ERA. Look at the whip, well under 1. Adam Wainwright out there has just been toying with the opposition. He's spotting up everything. He's pitching backwards, and it is just a pleasure to watch. Talk about this every time that Waino's on the mound, and I'll preach it yet again today. Kids, watch him. Watch him pitch. Watch how he attacks. Forget kids, teammates, other big leaguers. Watch him, because there are guys around the league that might have better stuff. There are not too many better pitchers in the league than Adam Wainwright. All
right, folks, as we continue on this edition of Twitter Cardinals Live, we showed you Waino. Up next, we'll put our attention to his battery mate, Yadier Molina. We'll have more of that as we continue on Valley Sports. Live on Valley Sports is brought to you by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. Well, on September 8th, Ted Simmons will finally make his way into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Remember, back in his first year on the ballot in '94, Simmons did not meet the 5% requirement and was deemed ineligible for future elections. Simmons spoke with our own Jim Hayes about the moment and how another look at his statistics changed the minds of voters.
When the rules were such that if you didn't get 5% in your first year of eligibility, you were out. That meant you were out for good. You were like terminal. And, you know, anybody, you know, other than, you know, Mantle, Musial, you know, Ted Williams, those types, who absolutely are, you know, fully expect to be in on a first ballot, like Seaver, those types. Everybody else, it's a little presumptuous to think that you're going to be on a first ballot elected to the Hall of Fame. So your expectation is pretty much like zero. The disappointment, of course, came when the reality set in that not getting 5% in the first year literally threw your eligibility out.
Kind of crazy at face value because you were second all-time among catchers in hits, second all-time among catchers RBIs. It would seem that there was a place for you.
You know, it's not something I was focused on. I wasn't running around with those statistics in my pocket and pulling out those statistics and say, did you know? That sort of thing. Frankly, I didn't know. They said, you know, Berra had so many RBIs, and later people told me, well, did you know you were second to Berra? And I said, no, I didn't know that. And people weren't asking in 1994. So none of those questions really surfaced until after the second, third, and finally the fourth ballot surfaced. Well, did you know? And then people said, no, I didn't know that. And then they said it to me, well, no, I didn't know it, but I was recently told it. And now this momentum started to build around these comparisons and these statistics, which then people started paying close attention to. And then they say, God, I had no idea he had that many hits for a catch, or that many ribbies, or hit that many homers, etc. And it kind of built after that.
Well, congratulations to Simba, much deserved, and Brad Thompson. I think it's pretty easy to say that Yadier Molina is definitely going to be there with Ted Simmons, some of the all-time great catchers, especially what he's accomplished, at least offensively, to start with, in the latter stages of his career.
Yeah, in my mind, there's no question. To your point, Scotty, this is a guy that when he came up to the big leagues, Tony La Russa said, I don't care what you do with the bat. Take one up there because the rules say you have to have one. You don't have to hit. Well, 2,093 hits later, Yadier Molina has just turned himself into a complete player, and he's still one of those guys after 18 years in the big leagues. Scotty, you want him up. You want this guy up in a big spot. You know you can trust him. You know how clutch he is. Just coming up as a young pitcher, and he's got to usher in a lot of young pitchers over the years. He just takes so much off your plate. I mean, this is a guy that you know the preparation is there. You know he's calling the game that ends up being right for you. He stops the running game. He makes pitches that out of your hand probably aren't strikes, and he turns them into strikes. I mean, the guy is just fantastic, and a lot like we were talking about with Adam Wainwright. Watch it. Watch it, because there are not very many guys around the game of baseball that do things the way Yadier Molina does behind the plate.
Brad, you mentioned stopping the running game. There's a lot of teams over the years that don't even want to run against Yadier Molina. Buster Olney of ESPN, I don't know if you saw this tweet about 2 weeks ago. Since 2004, attempts for stolen bases, 1,374 since 2004. The next lowest is the Arizona Diamondbacks, a team at 1,894. That's ridiculous.
It is. It's silly. And that is just, it is a testament to what he's done over the years. You don't get tested because that's what he ends up doing to you. And every once in a while, somebody gets that wild hair and they say, oh, you know what? I'm going to test him. I'm going to get a jump on the goat. And then all of a sudden you're dusting yourself off and running back to the dugout because he got you again. So whether it's the straight steal, it's him back picking somebody. And that's like the little differences of keeping somebody close to the base on a base hit. There's so much respect for what he does behind the plate.
That's why Colton Long took that second base with him after he swiped it on Yachty a couple of weeks ago. All right, when we come back on Twitter Cardinals Live, more on game one of the three-game set between the Cards and the Brewers. Jim Hayes will rejoin us. He'll sit down and talk it over with newest Cardinal Brandon Dixon. Stay with us on Bally Sports. On Valley Sports is brought to you by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by Steel. Find your Steel dealer at steeldealers.com. Brandon Dixon returning to the major leagues in a relief appearance in Cincinnati earlier today when Jim Hayes cut it with the Cards reliever.
A 36-year-old September call-up is a story unto itself, but the story of Brandon Dixon goes well beyond that. Brandon, thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you having me.
It's nice seeing you again. For folks that don't know your background, you were an undrafted free agent taken from a Division II program in Tennessee. You work your way up. You make the Cardinals in 2011. You get in 4 games, get a World Series ring out of it, which is nice. 2012, you're in a handful of games. Then you take your career overseas. You pitch in Japan for 8 seasons. Along the way, by the way, you win a silver medal with Team USA in Tokyo, and now you're back. So my first question is, it's been a long time. What's it like for you to be back with the Cardinals? You got into a game on Wednesday. What was that like?
Honestly, it's something I never thought would happen again. I mean, I've kind of assumed after spending 8 years over in Japan, I'd just retire over there and be done with my career. So kind of being back here is kind of surreal, the whole atmosphere and the team and know some of the players that are still here and a lot of the coaches I've known. So it's fun, and it's kind of just bring back a lot of memories too.
You did have a nice career overseas in Japan, so I'm wondering, as a fresh face with the Cardinals from way in the past, you go out there with your first action since being back. Was there nervousness? I mean, you're a veteran pitcher now as a pro, but was there nervousness?
Honestly, no. I mean, I felt pretty comfortable. I've, played this game for a while, so I've been on a lot of different mountains, a lot of different stages. So for me, being out on the mountain is pretty much home.
Mike Schilt told me that way back, he was involved in the scouting of you. Like, you weren't on a lot of people's radar, but he was one of the guys that was somehow involved. What is your relationship like with Mike?
Yeah, I've known him for a while, so it's kind of crazy. He's in the situation that he's in right now, and I'm able to play for him. It kind of means a lot. I mean, especially having some previous knowledge of him. So it kind of makes being here a little bit easier and a little bit sweeter.
Part of your story is a silver medal at the Olympics. What was that experience like for you?
Man, I still don't think I can explain it. It's something that will always be a part of me, and I'm so grateful for that opportunity. And to wear the USA, letters on my jersey and be able to represent the country, it's just something far beyond what I can explain, and it's tremendously meaningful to me, and I'm grateful and I hope I've made everybody proud.
All right, we've talked about your silver medal experience. Do you have it? You have it with you. Show it to us.
I absolutely have it with me. That's something I'll probably always keep with me. So there you go.
And you're traveling with an Olympic medal.
Why not?
That's the coolest thing.
If you won one, wouldn't you wear it too?
I would have it on right now. No question about it.
That's great.
I would imagine showing that to your teammates is probably a lot of fun. I'm sure there's a ton of interest in that.
Yeah, they've all wanted to see it, and I've proudly showed it off.
That's awesome. Now, do you know where you're going to end up storing this? Is it going to be out in display somewhere, or are you going to put it in a lockbox somewhere?
I plan on getting a display. Me and my dad will build something that'll look nice, and I'll be able to display it in the house.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for showing us the medal, and thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah, no problem.
Guys, thanks so much. That's really cool, BT. As we take a look at the Cards or batting order in Game 1 against the Brewers, as Armando Sosa will get the start at shortstop, and they'll be facing Freddie Peralta. Of course, we saw Peralta a couple of weeks ago here in St. Louis. Had to leave the game early, so he's been activated to get the Game 1 start for the Brew Crew, Brad.
Well, you know how good Freddie Peralta can be, but we know how good Adam Wainwright is. Number 300 for him and Yachty. Scotty, I can't wait to see it.
Should be a good one. Coming up, Dan McLaughlin and the Cardinal Hall of Famer Jim Edmonds bring you Cards and Brewers on Valley Sports.
300, a meaningful number throughout all of sports. On the baseball diamond, 300 has even more significance. 300 wins, a number eclipsed by just 24 pitchers. 300 strikeouts, a benchmark only 18 pitchers have surpassed in a season since 1900. And 300 starts by a pitcher and catcher, a number reached by just 3 battery mates in the history of baseball. Today, this pair of Cardinals legends join that exclusive club and further cement their legacy as one of baseball's all-time great duos and etch their names in the record books once more. It's Waino and Yachty together again for the 300th time.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And tonight the road trip continues at American Family Field in Milwaukee. Game 1 of a 3-game set, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers. And welcome to our Bally Studios here in St. Louis with the Cardinals Hall of Famer Jim Edmonds. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jim Hayes is with us as well. A couple of future Hall of Famers making history tonight. And Jimmy, that's Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina.
Yeah, 2 great guys. Full career here with Yachty. These guys have been playing together. Awesome to see it. Hopefully we'll get to see it for 1 more year, but tonight should be special.
So it's a historic start between these two. It's number 300 together as battery mates. Remarkable. You may never see it again. History tonight on Bally Sports. Bally Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Roof is closed. The panels outside the left and right field wall, we're told that that is open. And as we know, the ball flies in Milwaukee, and that will help. Mike Schilt and the Cardinals, they're going to face the Milwaukee Brewers 10 more times, and that includes the ball game tonight. At the top of the St. Louis lineup, Tommy Edman, then Paul Goldschmidt, Tyler O'Neill, Nolan Arenado, Dylan Carlson, Yadier Molina, Edmundo Sosa, Harrison Bader, and Adam Wainwright. Freddie Peralta gets the start tonight for the Milwaukee Brewers. And the last time that we saw him was back on August 18th. Pitched against St. Louis. They only lasted 2 innings. Had a shoulder issue. They put him on the IL. And he said that that may be beneficial for him down the stretch. The shoulder has been fine. The Hyundai pitch arsenal feels strong. And we're anticipating probably 70, 80 pitches max tonight.
Yeah, you know, during the course of the season, you're going to catch a little bump in the road, especially as a pitcher. And if you try to push through it, sometimes you end up going the long route. And they were smart, backed off, let them get a little bit healthy. Maybe almost, you know, you skip a start, you take it easy for a week. That can really, really benefit a pitcher.
Take a look at the wild card standings as the Brewers are comfortably in front in the National League Central Division. But in terms of the wild card, it's very interesting. Bunch of teams bunched together. We know the Dodgers or Giants. One of those teams is going to win the West. Then they'll have that first spot with the wild card. After that, Cincinnati, they lead by a half game over the Padres. Phillies have gotten hot as Philadelphia has won 6 straight. Cardinals are 2.5 out. And the Mets playing better baseball as of late, so they're now 5 back. And the Mets are playing the first of a 5-game series at Nationals Park. The first pitch to Tommy Edman, fastball and a strike, and we're underway.
It's really crazy at the end of the year, you start to see all of this action. You know, the other day we were talking about, okay, chasing Cincinnati, and if they could just get to, you know, get through the business and get closer, and all of a sudden you look up and now you're behind Philadelphia and San Diego and Cincinnati. It's like just this big rat race coming at the end, and it's going to be exciting right down to the end. And don't take, you know, the Mets aren't too far out of it either. There's a lot going on in that spot.
Absolutely. 1 ball and 1 strike on Tommy Edman. He's 11 for 27 here on this road trip. He scored 10 runs, and a little floater out to center field. Lorenzo Cain is there in the first out in the ballgame. What a difference maker Willy Adames has been, the trade with Tampa Bay. And he has been very good defensively and obviously in the middle of their lineup. Yelich, Cain, Peterson in the outfield. Escobar, Adames, Urias, Tellez, and Omar Narvaez is behind the plate. Peralta on the mound, and around the horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers.
That's your MVP right there for you in the second half, huh?
He's been,
I mean, for as far as what he's done.
Well, yeah, I mean, last time we saw the Brewers, I thought that would be my guy. And depending on how this final month finishes up, Paul Goldschmidt has been on fire. And lifts a high fly ball down the right field line. This road trip, 6 extra base hits, 3 home runs. He had 2 in one game, game 1 of the doubleheader. He's driven in 9 on the trip.
Notice too, just looking at those videos, it's almost more of a no stride, more so now than even ever. It's like he's really locked in. He's just kind of rocking a little bit. It's not even that front foot like you know when you talk about my no stride, my front foot would kind of come up pretty good and get a good cock in my leg, and that's he is basically not even moving. He's just like staying still. He's so strong and just staying on the ball.
6 for 10 against this right-hander, and that's off the mask of Narvaez. A couple of doubles, 2 home runs. He's driven in 5 against Peralta. And his career in Milwaukee, loves hitting at this ballpark. 368. OPS is over 1,000.
I feel like we say that every night.
With him or Arenado.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
No wonder he came to St. Louis. He likes the Central. And then when you go to the West, it's like everywhere he was in the West, same thing. Where did he make outs at? In the East?
I guess.
Once a year?
You know, Peralta may have been in the Cy Young conversation for Craig Counsell prior to his injury, which has cost him a couple of starts. But the opposition is hitting 150 against him. That's best in the major leagues. And 1-out walk. Good take.
Tough pitch right there to lay off of. Sometimes you can get fooled as a hitter almost so much where you can't swing, and then the pitcher says, how do you not swing at that? And you just can't do it.
ERA this season, Corbin Burns 2nd, Woodruff 3rd, Peralta 6th. They can flat out pitch, and they've got a very good bullpen to go with it. 1-out walk, and here is Tyler O'Neill. Peralta's made a couple of starts against the Cardinals this year. Back in early May, 7 shutout innings, 1 hit. And then the start on the 18th of August, in which he was done after a couple of innings. The 0-1. Good fastball at 96.
Ball is on you in a hurry right there. That's first pitch breaking ball for a strike. I'm almost guaranteeing you're going to get a fastball in that situation. And it just looked like he just flat out blew one right by him.
Room on the right side, the 0-2.
I'm actually kind of surprised a little bit. I mean, not in this day and age anymore, but they would allow him to pitch with those yellow shoes on. It looked a little weird, a little different. I mean, just so much because it's not really anything to do with their colors, you know? They were really, really strict with that back 5 or 10 years ago, and now it's just like, do whatever you want.
So you're saying anything that would distract the hitter,
yeah,
something
I mean,
like that?
That was super bright. I mean, just in general, as far as like, they used to have rules that, you know, you had to have X amount of color in your shoe that matches the team, and your team color had to be the, you know, the color of your team, which is theirs is dark blue and like ours is red. So, I mean, I think they're cool looking, but wow, they are bright.
The 2-2 with a runner at first. Fastball then struck him out.
I mean, that looks like 99, 100 coming out of his hand. How quick he gets rid of it and short arms it.
Got a little extra life, doesn't it?
Yeah, he really does. Look at that ball just kind of jump. No gravity to that baseball at all. This almost looks like it's riding up.
There's Nolan Arenado, 27 home runs now, and he has driven in 85. It's either Nolan or Goldie, 1 and 2 in home runs and runs batted in. Only other team with 2 players with 24 or more home runs, 82 or more RBI, and that's Boston. Rafael Devers and JD Martinez. So they've been a pretty good 1-2 punch.
You know, I'm looking at Freddie Peralta, and he's only 5'11", but his extension, so the reach for him is over 7 feet, and that's closer to the plate letting go of the ball than actually Adam Wainwright, even with his 6'7" frame. So he's getting all extension out there at the end.
There's that slider, did not go. Well, Goldie loves this ballpark, and so does Nolan Arenado. Those two, the top 4 in batting, on base percentage, slugging, OPS all time at this ballpark. Visiting players. The 2-1. 2-2.
It's filthy. And we talked about the last time that we played against Milwaukee. You catch them in a short series with a couple of their pitchers hot. Wow, look out. That is no joke.
Hader, Williams in the back end, too. Boxberger has been very good for them. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Nolan Arenado. Nolan hits it a ton out to deep left. Yelich back at the wall. 2-0 St. Louis. A Nolan Arenado bomb and home run number 28. Cardinals on top 2-0.
Well, I want to tell you what, Danny, you watch a veteran hitter. So he's throwing super hard. He's fooled by the slider, but look how slow and easy this swing is. He doesn't even try to do anything but connect and get extension. And when you do, off a guy throwing this hard, look at it, half swing, just put the ball in play, don't strike out, and good things will happen. And he hits a bomb. You know, you get fooled by that slider one time and you say, uh-oh, I can't do that again. I got to shorten up. And then you get to the fastball on time, and that's what happens.
And a strike to Dylan Carlson. 2-0 on one swing of the bat. Nolan Arenado. The Cardinals now have homered in a season high 9 straight games.
And that's a big home run right now, too, against Peralta, because if he just walks through this lineup in the first inning, you say to yourself, uh-oh. You know, basically it's almost like a here we go again, but you're going to be in for a battle. You got Waino out there, and you know he's not going to give in. But that home run right there makes him vulnerable and makes everyone on that bench say, all right, he's got good stuff, but we can get him.
And the 0-2. Cardinals also, they have homered in the first inning in 4 of their last 5 games on this road trip.
Yeah, they've gotten some early leads.
And time called. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Dylan Carlson. Nolan Arenado now is driven in 87. And so that puts him just 6 back of the National League lead. Jesus Aguilar, Miami, with 93.
It's kind of snuck up on everyone right there, too.
He also leads the National League in extra base hits. That's 64. Not a bad first year for Nolan Arenado in St. Louis.
What a great picture this is right here. You know when the ball's on the plate, if you get the replay from there, huh?
Got it.
It was straight on top.
The strikeout of Dylan Carlson, number 2 for Freddie Peralta. Arenado, the home run. And history tonight for Waino and Yachty. 2-0 St. Louis. Profile brought to you by your local Kia dealers. At the age of 40, he is named the National League Pitcher of the Month. An incredible month for Adam Wainwright. 6 starts, 5-1, 1.43 the ERA, 36 strikeouts. Gave up just 1 home run, only walked 6 in 44 innings. He had the 2-hit complete game shutout against the Pirates. 3 scoreless starts of at least 7 innings. And his most recent start was Saturday, 5th this season, in which he tossed at least 7 scoreless innings. And tonight, Adam Wainwright, Yadier Molina will make history as the starting battery for the Cardinals for the 300th time. Jace Peterson to lead it off. And a strike on the outside corner, so number 300. And if Waino decides to come back and both are healthy next year, they could be the all-time leader. And that might be
that's impressive.
A combination that you'll never see again.
No, never.
This is start number 353 for Adam Wainwright in his career. So Yadi's been the catcher for 300 of them. There's Sosa. So essentially 85% of his starts, Yadier Molina has been the starting catcher. Our Toyota key to the game, pretty simply put, enjoy the ride. Watching these two guys go. It's awesome.
I mean, we can't stop talking about Waino. He's done so much this year, and it just like he keeps getting stronger. It's amazing to watch. I mean, like even in the last 15 games, he's 10-2 with a 2-1. I mean, that what it's just like keeps going. And he was about to call it a day about 4 years ago
in San Diego. We were doing that game, and he walked off the mound, and I thought
throwing sidearm.
This is
he was throwing everything.
Topping out at 80-81.
Oh man. What a great story. I was just looking through my phone the other day, and just to give you a brief example of a guy that works out and does all this stuff, why he's here. We went to Albert's 40th birthday party in Mexico, and I found a video of him and we're playing catch on the beach. But that just goes to show you, and this is like in January or February or even maybe before that, but like
good pitch and a strikeout of Adames.
Guy goes on vacation for Albert's 40th birthday, and he brings 2 gloves and a ball. So if that doesn't tell you dedication, I don't know what does.
So Waino has gotten the first 2. His rankings this year, how about that? 4th in innings pitched at the age of 40. He goes deep into games, 2nd on that particular portion of his resume. Pitches per innings, he loves to be around 12 to 14. And there's a breaking ball and a strike to Christian Yelich. Snapped an 11-game hitting streak yesterday. And in his last 21, he has scored 15 runs and hit .333. So starting to pick it up here at the tail end. 0-1 pitch. And a ground ball.
Great cutter.
Goldschmidt to Wainwright, and a 1-2-3 inning.
The old Adam Wainwright, old cutter right there. Good one.
MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Busch Stadium. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. A fastball and a strike to Yadier Molina. Over his last 10, it's Molina, Sosa, and Bader. Nothing in 2.
That's a big slider right there. That's a tough pitch on a righty. That ball is basically thrown right at the shoulder. They used to say throw it at the hip. That's thrown at your shoulder, and that's breaking back for a strike. That's not fun.
Went with it again, and it's in the dirt. 1-2. The Brewers coming off a month of August. They went 19-9. It's the 3rd best winning percentage they've ever had in the month of August in their club's history. Lost yesterday. That snapped a 4-game winning streak, but they took 3 of 4 against San Francisco. And that grazed Molina, and he's hit by the pitch.
Just like I said right there, that ball comes out of his hand. You think fastball, and you got to get out of there. It's tough to stay in there for that. And it's not like he's babying that slider either. That thing's coming out of his hand in a hurry.
Ooh, barely got him.
That's all you need.
Jimmy, how do you explain Edmundo Sosa? 57 games he started. He's batting .310. As a sub, 35 games that he pops in, and a lot of times it's as a pinch hitter, so that's a tough role. 0.63. I mean, the splits are just huge.
And we talked about this the other day too. I don't know if it's just feeling more comfortable, if facing the reliever in the pinch hit role is really tough, facing specialists, and then maybe it's the second and third at bat that when he's playing he gets kind of into the game a little bit more. There's a lot of things, combination, but also just playing more than once, once a week or one at bat here. You get 2 or 3 at bats in a couple of days in a row, and then all of a sudden it's like you're a player again and you feel good about it.
Here's a 1-1 taken high, 2 balls and a strike. One of the reasons the Brewers have a commanding lead in the division is what they have done inside the Central. 42-21. It's the best record of any team inside their respective division. They're on pace for 98 wins. Their franchise record is 96. Set that back in 2011 and 18. Bader on deck, and the 3-1. 3-2. So they're up by 10 on Cincinnati. And the Cardinals 2.5 back of the Reds in a packed wild card. That's outside, so he's hit a man this inning, and now a walk, and the first 2 have reached here in the top of the second. 2 walks issued by Peralta.
You're looking at these stats too on Sosa, like you said. 7 games, he's hitting .420 his last 7. I mean, he has really turned it up too. He's been getting a lot of playing time, and he's been having good at bats, and that's another one right there.
Bader picked up his 10th home run in the just completed series against the Cincinnati Reds. 8th position in the lineup. Waino on deck. This is where Peralta can be stingy too. The opposition runners in scoring position hitting just 145, and it's how you win games. Obviously, he's been very tough, but the Cardinals have gotten to him early here, 2-0.
Well, this is a nice job, I think, by the catcher going out to the mound, because you can see he second-guessed the ball that hit Yachty. He second-guessed the strike zone, and you can see he's turning around looking like everything that goes wrong, he wants to know what's up. So you get a chance, maybe get a little frustrated out there. The catcher has to go out there and slow him down a little bit and say, hey, listen, you're kind of showing the other team that you're a little barky, so slow down and just pitch.
Bader 1 for 10 against this right-hander, and that would make some sense because of this slider that he's got. Now, Harrison's made those adjustments, though.
Yeah, this is a guy, when you see slider, you just have to take. There's nothing you can do with that. You can't hit it. It's hard to react. You just can't swing at balls, and that's where guys like this, you're just going to take your lumps, and hopefully he's going to make a mistake. So when you start to see spin, you just have to kind of pull back, and hopefully you can't throw 3 of them in a row.
0-2 the count. That's in the dirt, kept in front, 1-2. The matchups for this weekend: Game 2 tomorrow. Kwang Hun Kim, Adrian Hauser, the right-hander, and John Lester will go Sunday against Corbin Burns. And Lester was terrific in his last start. Gave up just 1 hit. The 1-2 hit up the middle, base hit. The bases will be loaded now for Adam Wainwright. Cardinals hold up. Yadier Molina, good job by Bader with a single into center.
Exactly what I'm talking about right there. You swing at the 1 slider, so you take the next couple. You don't swing at the ball in the dirt. You buy yourself a fastball. Even with 2 strikes, he's trying to go up. He doesn't get it where he wants to. And you got a base hit. That's why you can never give up on the heater.
Waino was ready to go be a coach behind the plate.
Yep, tell him to stand up, slide. Something we've watched a couple of the young guys miss out on a little bit this year. It's an important role for the on-deck hitter.
So bases loaded, nobody out, and Adam Wainwright swinging the bat much better here in the second half.
Same thing. Just look heater, let the slider go.
In his career, he does have 3 home runs against Milwaukee.
Got himself a brand new bat.
But that first pitch slider to the pitcher, Adam Wainwright.
Don't want to get behind. I'm cheating right here, boy. Just choking up a little bit and cheating on a fastball.
One ball and 1 strike.
Good swing.
Pitch number 41 already for Peralta. And this probably will be a short night for him, regardless, because of coming off of injury. They're going to be careful with him. You're looking at 70 to 80 pitches.
Well, the quicker they can get him out of here, the better, because the back end of the bullpen has got some fire. Maybe not so much in the middle or at the beginning, but yeah, you want to get him out of there before they get to the 6th or 7th inning when they start to bring in all their good guys.
Base hit into left off the bat of Adam Wainwright. Yachty and Waino battery mates for the 300th time. And look who brings in Yachty. It's Adam Wainwright.
It's a great swing right there. The ball's in off the plate. Pulls his hands in. Just a little jam shot, base hit.
And a 3-0 St. Louis lead. Bases loaded, nobody out. Tommy Edman coming up. Well, you couldn't ask for a better start right now for the Cardinals in this series.
You got to tack on at least one more right here for sure. Think about Milwaukee still. They can be patient right here. You know, they can get them out of the game. They can take their lumps. You know, they still have a huge lead for first place. So it's not like they're in panic mode. You got a 10-game lead. You're not really, you know, you get him out of the game. You take a 3 or 4 inning or 3 or 4 run deficit going into the 3rd, 4th inning. So what? You know, keep your guys healthy.
Tommy Edman, very good numbers with the bases loaded. Fly to center to start this game. Nobody out for the Cardinals. And the first pitch to him. Hit softly towards short. Out there the turn, not in time, and a run does score to make it 4-0 as Edman scoots down the line.
That's a great job by Tommy right there. You got to run hard, not only to get away from the double play. Obviously you don't get an RBI with the double play, but just an extra guy on bases. Now we got 2 outs and a guy on third. That is not as good as obviously having 1 out and a guy on third. So great hustle. Stuff like this is how you win games.
So it's Topa, the right-hander, getting loose already for Milwaukee in their bullpen. Justin Topa. Runners at the corners, and Paul Goldschmidt, who walked and scored on the Arenado home run in the first. 4-0 Cardinals. Tommy Edman, as I said the other night, one thing you do not have to worry about is he comes to the ballpark ready to play and to hustle. And we saw that the other night with his tremendous catch against Cincinnati. Club was down big in game 2. One of the plays of the year. Inside. And there's a stolen base. Thank you, Tommy, for making me look good.
Right on time.
He winds up at second, and here it is. If you missed it in game 2, Ponce on the mound. Cardinals, They're getting pounded at this point. Tommy Edman flying into the seats to make that catch. Traveled 124 feet. And again, at that point, Cardinals were down by 9 or 10.
That is how you make a statement right there when you're down that much. You know what really, when I'm watching that play, you know what I love about it? He's running over there not knowing if he's going to make the play at all, but he's running over there. And then you could see at the last second he looks back up and the ball basically just falls in his lap. But because of the effort and the hustle, that play is made. If he gives up on that thinking it's a foul ball early on, he doesn't even get close to it, and that ball lands in fair territory, or basically in play, but in foul territory.
3-1 the count. That was stolen base number 22 for Tommy Edman. 1 of 7 now in Major League Baseball to have 40 extra base hits, 20 or more steals. Only 7 have done that. Tommy Edman is one of them. Second and third with 1 down. The 3-1 pitch to Paul Goldschmidt. Now 3-2.
Got to get this ball in play right here.
Time is called. Pitch number 49 upcoming.
Got to believe he's going to be careful right here, don't you think?
Absolutely. Backed up just a bit on him and got the strikeout of Goldie.
I thought that was a great spot for a slider, but he shook off so many times. I thought, you know what, he might just try to get him to chase, knowing that there's a base open with the fastball. 2 reasons why. You can throw the fastball anywhere you want to with a lot of velocity, and if you make a mistake with the slider, it could go a long way. Looked like that was almost like a backup slider, kind of spun right past him.
Third strikeout for Freddie Peralta. Second and third for Tyler O'Neill. He struck out swinging back in the first inning.
Can't see the signs here, but I'm going to go with, might just go slider a couple times and try to speed him up and then go up high again. That's the thing when you have stuff like this. If you can throw strikes, you can do so many things. You can start guys off backwards, finish them with that good fastball, vice versa. You can pitch in and then throw sliders at them, especially the right-handers. I mean, if you had a good game plan, you like I'm sure they do, you give guys fits. Because that fastball is ridiculous the way it's jumping out of his hand.
1-2 the count on Tyler O'Neill. Runners had second and third, 2 outs, a ball and 2 strikes on Tyler O'Neill. Cardinals with 2 runs in the first, 2 more here in the top of the second. O'Neill is swinging a miss, got him with a fastball. Back-to-back Ks. Waino helping his cause with a base hit, and it's 4-0. For nothing as we move to the home half of the second. Cardinals and Brewers, game 1 of their 3-game series, and we check in with Jim.
Danny, 300 starts for the Yadi-Waino combination is obviously a tremendous accomplishment. Mike Schilt said it's so impressive that it defies description. Schilt told me it's really hard to capture how impressive it is on so many levels. Those guys have been so good individually for so long, but to be able to sync up the way they have is amazing. 300 starts together, it's really beyond description. Waino has a decision to make about next year. Schilt said he would love to see him back pitching to Yadi. Schilt said it would be great. We're halfway there, but I'll support Waino whatever he decides. But Danny, how great would that be to see Waino and Yadi back for another run and taking a shot at the record?
Absolutely. And if they would stay healthy and come back, they certainly could set that all-time record. Quickly, 0-2 on Eduardo Escobar, just activated from the injured list, dealing with a hamstring issue. Brewers picked him up from Arizona. What's your gut tell you? You know these guys as well as anybody now that Yadi for sure is in the fold for next year. Waino comes back?
Yeah, I think he does. I think you have to, if you're the Cardinals right now, at least give it a chance to, like, have it the option there, you know, like entice him to want to come back and then say, hey, you know, here's this, and if you're ready to come back. And I'm sure he'll wait till the end of the year to make the good decision, but can't see why not after the way he's pitching this year.
One ball and 2 strikes. Fouled back.
I mean, you know what else too? I think it'd be nice to see if he could almost get to 200 wins. He's got 180, 20 wins still. You got a couple more left here, maybe.
I mean, think about this. If Adam Wainwright doesn't miss essentially 2 full seasons, as Escobar flies it into shallow left field, dumps it in for a base hit, we very well could be talking about Adam Wainwright going to the Hall of Fame. Closed out a World Series, closed out the NLCS, part of the 2011 team, injured that year. That's 2 full seasons. That's 60 more starts, maybe 40 more wins potentially. I mean, if he's, and that's in the prime of his career. So something to think about.
Well, they're all there. I mean, stats are piling up quickly.
Base hit to left, and now Omar Narvaez, all-star selection, first time in his career. He's second among catchers in the all of baseball in average. Second in on-base percentage and 5th in OPS. He's had a very good year. Lined on a hop Edman and a double play. 4-6-3 on the double play. Around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. O'Neill, Bader, Carlson in the outfield. Arenado, Sosa, Edman, Goldie on the infield. Molina behind the plate. Luis Urias, kind of the forgotten man in a way with this lineup, but leads her team in runs and extra base hits. He's had a good year, the second baseman.
Yeah, you know, to play this well, everyone's got to chip in, and basically we keep talking about it. They have a bunch of guys that maybe we all don't know have really done damage, and to put this team over the top. It's interesting that, you know, you don't see these guys. I mean, we don't know them that well. A lot of the names haven't been around for a long time. But every time you click on a name and you see 18 home runs, 20 home runs, you know, RBIs, on base percentage.
Well, the Brewers went out and they got Willy Adames, but they still have found a way to get Urias in the lineup. And tonight, game number 250 in his career. Yesterday, he picked up hit number 100 on the season. So he goes from short to second, and the Adames deal really did change the fortunes of the Brewers here in 2021. The 0-2 pitch. Cutter's been a good pitch tonight for Adam Wainwright.
Yeah, it looks like he's making an adjustment, seeing these guys more than once in the last month and starting to throw a lot more cutters. You see the Hyundai pitch arsenal. You see the cutter back to 21%. It really wasn't up there that high earlier in the year. And the curveball, he uses that at the right time. The 2-seamer and the 4-seamer. Just has all the weapons right now. He just has to execute.
And the 0-2 pitch. Popped foul out of play. Adam Wainwright in the 300 starts with Yadier Molina. When he throws to Yachty, ERA 3.23. Not throwing to Yachty, it's over 4. Stays alive. There's the breaking ball. So when these two made their first start together, it was April 6th of 2007. Remember, Adam was in the bullpen for your club, Jimmy, that won the championship in 06. Only 10 players currently active were at the major league level. That's it. That's who's left. One now, their teammate John Lester. Albert Pujols will see him on Monday. Miguel Cabrera, Irvin Santana, Rich Hill, who by the way is pitching tonight, Ryan Zimmerman, Nelson Cruz, and Yasmero Petit. That is it. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Got him. 90 miles an hour on the outside corner, and a strikeout. Second tonight for Adam Wainwright. We play 2. St. Louis on top. The ballpark Monday. Cardinals will welcome the Dodgers to town, and that day 30,000 fans ages 16 and older take home their own Victory Blue hooded pullover, courtesy of the Shane Company. Visit cardinals.com/promotions for tickets. Freddie Peralta lasted 2 innings in his return. Justin Topa, the new pitcher. Peralta went 2, 3 hits, 4 runs, walked 2, struck out 4, gave up a 2-run homer to Nolan Arenado in the first. And this is our Chevy call to the pen. Topa last pitched Wednesday at San Francisco, and in 1 inning, 3 hits, 2 runs. Second time with the major league club.
Features just fastball change or fastball slider. Sorry, throws pretty hard. 95.
97.
97 there. Sidearm too. Little slingshot. One with the slider right here. Nope. Back to the fastball.
And missed down and in. Zach Silver of MLB.com says that tonight, the 12th time in Wainwright's career that he has driven in Yachty, most of any player in his career, including himself. And Nolan hits it out to deep left center. Goodbye. His second home run tonight.
Wow, what a bad pitch right there.
Nolan Arenado with home run number 29. And he's driven in 3 tonight. And the Cardinals add on. It's 5-0 St. Louis. Nissan drive of the game off the bat of Nolan Arenado.
I mean, that is just center cut hanging slider after throwing 2 nasty sinkers in off the plate for strikes. Wow. Thank you very much, you say, as a hitter right there. Same thing, trying to protect, short swing, get a hanging slider right on the barrel.
'21st multi-home run game, first as a Cardinal for Nolan Arenado.
Look at that run he's got to that ball right there.
Carlson struck out swinging back in the first inning. Cardinals 5-0 lead here in game 1 with Waino on the mound. The 1-1.
Talk about short arm and long arm with extension. I was telling you that Freddie Peralta was getting his arm out there 7.5 feet at times. You can see right here after this pitch.
And that's a base hit to left.
Topa's a little slinger. He's only letting go of the ball 5 feet closer to the plate, where Freddie Peralta was almost 7.5. So you can see a little short arm with good velocity, but you definitely can't throw the ball down the middle.
That's Aaron Ashby, a lefty in the bullpen. They've got 5 left-handers in their pen. Arenado now 1 shy of 30 home runs in his first season in St. Louis. He's got a chance to set the all-time record by third baseman in Cardinals history in terms of single-season home runs. Scott Rowland, Fernando Tatis both had 34. And then you had Kenny Boyer at 32, and now Arenado just went past Matt Carpenter. And Scott Rowland had 28 one year, but now Nolan with 29. There's Molina, who was hit by a pitch to start playing in the second inning. Came around to score in the bases loaded single from Adam Wainwright. Long look, and now time called. The 0-1 pitch to Yadier Molina. At some point it will come. Mentioned that April 6 of 07 was when Molina and Wainwright were the tandem starting battery mates. Since that time, well, there's been over 3,400 players that have made their debut in the major league since that time. As Yadi hits it out to Lorenzo Cain in center.
That's crazy.
Yet these two guys keep on going.
That's crazy. 3,400. Players.
Basically, there's been just over 20,000 players to debut in the major leagues. So 17% have come at the time that these two guys are in the league. It's incredible.
What is there, 450 players in the league on a 25-man roster? And that's a lot of change. Guys coming up and down and making debuts, and the two guys.
Well, Jimmy, think about how the game has changed. It's changed more probably in the last 5-8 years than
ever.
And they have adapted with time. Sosa walked and scored back in the second. Now you got to have a little luck to stay healthy. Now we talked about it. Wainwright has missed a couple of years, and it takes 2 to tango, you know, in terms of the organization wanting to keep you and vice versa. This day and age of free agency, and it's worked. Sosa pops it into shallow right. Urias can't get there. It drops in for a hit. Dylan Carlson to second base. Little bloop hit into shallow right field. If you're wondering about no Colton Wong, Wong is on the paternity list as his wife is going into labor either tonight or tomorrow, so they're going to have their first kid. And Urias came up a little slowly after this attempt.
I'll tell you what, he is playing way up the middle, but if Colton Wong is out there, that is in his back pocket. Might be a little difference in speed right there between those two guys. That's a tough jarring on your hips too. When you hit that grass and your knee sticks, feels like you got hit by a truck.
Here's Bader and a fastball and a strike. Single to center with runners at first and second back in the second inning. That loaded him up for Wainwright, who picked up a base hit. And a run batted in, his third of the year. So he brought in Yadier Molina. Taken low. Bader hitting .262 with runners in scoring position this season. 1 ball and 1 strike. This inning started with a solo home run by Arenado, his second in the ball game. Carlson the base hit to left. Molina fly to center. Sosa the bloop base hit into right. And another chance to add on here. The 1-1. One-two pitch. Ouch. Whew.
Don't hurt the tires, man. Don't mess with the feet when you can run.
See Bader shaking his head and saying, "I'm all right." And the 1-2 pitch to Harrison Bader. Just got a piece.
Oh, that sinker is nasty. It is short and late and hard. 95 mile an hour.
By the way, in the minor leagues, Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright actually started 8 times in the minors together too.
No way.
That was at AAA Memphis, and then Yadi got the call up in 2004. 1-2 pitch. And Bader sends it out to deep left. Yelich back. Gone! It's a home run. 3-run homer. Bader. And the Cardinals now an 8-run lead here in the top of the third.
That was a great swing right there. That was a short slider. It wasn't a mistake. That is just one of those times you come back to the dugout and you probably say to yourself, I don't know how I hit that ball. I mean, it's in and down. And he just doesn't try to do too much and hits it on the barrel, choked up. That was a great adjustment by Harry right there. Right off the top of the wall.
So Topa has come in and allowed 2 home runs and 4 hits, and the Cardinals have opened up an 8-run lead here in game 1. 7 hits. Wainwright with the bases loaded single back in the second. Puts it in play to third. Glove by Escobar, and that'll be out number 2.
That sinker is incredible.
It brings in Tommy Edman.
Think about that too when you're watching this game. Guy's throwing 96, 97 with sink, and he's gotten beat twice on sliders for homers.
Fly to center, grounded into a fielder's choice. Tommy Edman looks at that slider in for a strike. Taken low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Two strikes now, and the Cardinal leadoff man, Tommy Edman, who's really picked it up here down the stretch for St. Louis. You might be doing a left-handed batter a favor by flipping up that slider.
Well,
it's not moving enough.
Yeah, and I was just saying with that stuff that he's showing, so what we've been just watching, and my idea would be like, if you can throw your fastball down with that much sink, I got to believe that's your pitch, and just let him beat it into the ground. And like I said, he's made 2 mistakes with the slider for homers. I don't think if he throws his fastball the way he's been throwing it, you could hit it out of the ballpark.
So Craig Counsell out with the medical team of the Brewers, and Topa, his night looks to be through. Ashby, the lefty, has been throwing. The reaction after that last pitch, something caught there.
Just caught a spike. I don't see anything else.
So we'll step aside. We're in the top of the 3rd, and the Cardinals leading 8-0. The Cardinals in Milwaukee. We're coming to you from our Bally Studios here in St. Louis. Glad that you're with us on this Friday night. And what a start to the series for St. Louis. 8-0 our score. You can officially close the book on Ashby. The official scores are rather on Topa. Ashby in relief. Aaron Ashby, our Chevy, called to the pen. They've said that the result of this at bat will be charged to Ashby. So Topa 2/3, 4 hits, 4 runs, a couple of home runs to Arenado and Bader. And this is one of their top pitching prospects, and also the nephew of Andy Ashby, who spent a number of years with the San Diego Padres, and if memory serves correct, gave up home run number 500 to Mark McGwire in St. Louis at Busch Stadium too.
Interesting. 23 years old. He's a pretty good sized kid. He's 6'2". Those 95, 96 average from the left side. That's pretty good. That would be why you would see him being the high on the prospect list right there. I'll take a lefty throwing 96 anytime.
Well, Topa, he's one of those guys that's come back from 2 Tommy Johns and had spent time 3 months on the injured list with elbow issues.
Got to be careful with that.
Yep.
Hope that everything is all right there.
But that Tommy Edman having to go to the other side of the plate in the middle of the at-bat.
And hit one 400 feet foul. Another slider.
Ashby did not get out of the first inning in his major league debut, then went back to AAA and just dominated. And here he is back with the big league club.
This is when you're hitting and you start to your wheels start to spin, right? They tell you he throws 96 and he comes in those slider changeup. First 2 pitches. Here comes the heat. What a sinker.
Charging Urias quickly to get Tommy Edman. And the final out here in the top of the 3rd, but damage done by St. Louis. 4 runs scored. Started with a Nolan Arenado homer, his second in the game. 3-run shot Bader. 8-0 St. Louis. Adam Wainwright and the Cardinals behind 7 hits lead this ball game 8-0. Nolan Arenado with a pair of home runs. He's up to 29. He's driven in 3, and he's now up to 88 runs batted in this season. Also saw the 3-run homer by Bader, his 11th. Rowdy Tellez, Lorenzo Cain, and then the pitcher Ashby. So before you even get to the pitcher spot in the lineup for Milwaukee, 3 different guys have been on the mound for them. Here's Tellez, the first baseman picked up from Toronto.
Yeah, this wears you out as a manager too. You see one of your aces come back from an injury and not go so well and struggled his last couple outings, and then you bring in a guy that throws like that and gets beat up a little bit and then gets taken out of the game for an injury, and like you said, you're on number 3 already. It's not what you want to see when you're Craig Counsell.
And the 0-1 pitch by Adam Wainwright. Doing some more numbers and thinking about where Adam is in his career. He's made 350 plus starts, over 180 wins. He's now 13 strikeouts shy of 2,000. So he's closing in on that.
That's awesome.
Milestone. He's had Tommy John, blew out his Achilles at this ballpark.
Every time he swings the bat, I see that in my eyes.
I worry about it
here,
too.
Just here, because you're so used to, you've seen it.
So you think about it, Jimmy, and I mentioned the 2 years that essentially he missed. In 18, he only made 8 starts. He had elbow problems, so that's another year that you think about losing. Then last year, season cut short due to the pandemic. He only had 10 starts. But you're talking potentially, if that stuff doesn't happen, that's popped up. Goldie wants it and has it, but you're talking about a guy that would have 400 plus starts, maybe 250 plus wins, and 2,500 strikeouts is not out of the question. And if you have that, you're talking about Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
that's the kind of career he's had. His worst day this year was his first start. 6 earned, 7 hits, 2 2/3. That was in Cincinnati. And outside of that, man, every 5th day he's giving you a chance to win. Here's Lorenzo Cain and a pitch that's taken high. His last month or so hitting right around 300. And the 1-0. Did not go. 2 balls and no strikes. Two and 1. If you were to describe why at the age of 40 he's doing what he's doing, is it the league doesn't make adjustments on him? He continues to make adjustments. Wow. I mean, his stuff is not overpowering. It's 88 to 91. Now he's got a great breaking ball, no doubt there. But how would you describe it?
I think all of the above. I think you've made a point to me earlier that a lot of guys don't seem like they're making adjustments off of him, and they're kind of going on his reputation. But for me, he's making his pitches. He's executing his pitches. He doesn't throw a whole lot of fastballs down the middle. And you know what? I think he's pitching differently. I think he's using the 4-seamer and the 2-seamer at times. You can see him rear back and throw a couple of pitches here and there straight. It's not all about the breaking ball anymore, and then not overuse of the cutter. It's basically everything. And he really is executing his pitches.
3-2 pitch to Cain, and
that is not
doesn't
a
get
ball.
that call.
That's twice.
Wow.
How does that happen in a game when you got Adam Wainwright on the mound in an 8-0 game?
That's
two times in a row. You know what's funny too is back when they first started doing the strike zone, the K zone, and the Quest Tech and all that stuff, they used to tell me that the Milwaukee strike zone in the computer is the lowest in the league.
Really?
Umpires used to tell me that all the time. I said, why the ball down so much? They said, well, here we get graded on the the scale, And the strike zone seems to be, they all say it, this seems to be lower in Milwaukee. They said that a lot of times they'll miss balls down and they'll say it should have been a strike.
Interesting. Wonder why that is.
I don't know.
There's a bunt out in front of the plate, and Yachty will go to first. You can see he was thinking two, maybe. While we have a moment, quick word from Brown and Brown.
Brown and Brown is on the road too. So if you're injured in a car crash or hurt on the job, call us for free. In Missouri, dial all 3s. In Illinois, dial all 8s.
That was interesting. The home plate umpire went out to give Wainwright a new baseball. And it was almost like they had a quick conversation. And I wonder if the home plate umpire, and tonight that is Greg Gibson. He's been around a long time. He said, hey, you know what? That's me. I missed it.
And Yachty was in his ear too after that, after the walk, and you can see he was not making a scene, but he was definitely talking underneath his mask. And you know what? If you also think about Waino, you'd never get a reaction out of him.
Not often.
And he turned around and looked. So I think Greg might have figured something out. Wait, if both of these guys are on me, something's going on.
Waino tonight is trying to join Murray Dixon, who beat Warren Spahn and the Braves at County Stadium. And the Braves Milwaukee franchise that we're talking about here as the only pitchers 39 or older or 40 or older to beat the Milwaukee franchise. 0-2 pitch. Diving stop, Tommy Edman. What a play. Takes a hit and an RBI away from Jace Peterson. Nice play. 8-0 as we head to the fourth. With an 8-run lead. Already a big night for Nolan Arenado. He's due up in this inning. Paul Goldschmidt, Tyler O'Neill, Nolan Arenado. Arenado with a pair of home runs. And he's up to 29. Paul Goldschmidt tonight walked and scored, struck out. His career against the Brewers, .330 the average. There's a strike. 26 doubles, 19 home runs. And at this ballpark, he loves it. At the 3 home run night, his second game as a Cardinal after the acquisition of Goldie.
It's kind of a nice start, wasn't it?
I mean, think about those numbers that he's put up playing in the National League West. So you're only going to see the Brewers twice a year. That's it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. 97 miles an hour on that fastball. And it brings in Tyler O'Neill, 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. So Ashby came in the middle of the at bat. Tommy Edman got him to ground out. And Topa had to leave with right elbow discomfort. There's a strike to O'Neill. Little breaking ball, then the changeup, 0-2. Got him again.
It's got good stuff, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Back-to-back Ks, and it brings in Nolan. 2 for 2 tonight. 2-run shot in the first. Statcast powered by Google Cloud. And then off of Topa, the solo home run in the third. Just a line shot into the bullpen of the Milwaukee Brewers. First pitch is strike. And the 0-1. Popped up Down the right field line. And on a play.
It's so crazy to see that netting, isn't it? Think about all those plays that the right fielder and the second baseman and first baseman would make in the stands, and they just kind of taking it away. Even more so the reason why Tommy Edmonds' play was so spectacular, because that ball goes another 2 feet. It's in the stands with no chance to catch it. Not even, and you want to go in the stands to catch it, and you can't.
I would say the netting helped him too a little.
Well, you saved
braced
him.
it a little bit. Another souvenir for those folks down the right field line. Well, I guess hitting away from Coors hasn't bothered Nolan Arenado this year. 0-2 pitch. And he did go. There's a strikeout. First year outside of hitter-friendly Coors Field. No problem. Strikes out the side in the fourth. Well, it's always fun to come down to the ballpark, but then you get to add the fact that you can bring your dog. And that's what you can do on Saturday, October 2nd. Cardinals.com/Pooches. Presented by Purina. I wonder if Jim Hayes is going to bring Stella down, his dog. Why not
make a cameo, another cameo?
Yeah, the broadcasters can bring their dogs too.
Roof.
Jim loves putting out on social media pictures of that beautiful dog. There's a strike to Willy Adames. Brewers are 61-30 since he joined the Milwaukee Brewers. So he's made a difference. He's only 25. And so you'd have to think he's in the fold for quite some time now with Milwaukee.
Yeah, and then you got your, I know he's not your everyday second baseman, but second baseman over there is 24. Colton Wong's not that old either. He got a young little crew of infielders you can definitely count on, that's for sure.
Gets him to reach for it. And a fly ball that'll carry to Bader for the first out. Adames 0 for 2, and now it's Christian Yelich. Last Cardinal that started a ball game at the age of 40 was John Smoltz. Cardinals picked him up for the stretch run of 2009. And prior to that, it was actually before that, Miguel Batista. I forgot he had made a start. Cardinals knew it was going to rain, and they pushed the start. They just said, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to play this game. And he made a start in 2011. He threw 6 pitches. Then there was a 2-hour rain delay, and Cal McClellan then came in relief. Jeff Fassero made a start in 2003.
Fassero was 40, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He might have been over 40.
Jim Cott did that in 1980 with the Cardinals. There aren't many that have had a lot of starts at the age of 40 and beyond. Pete Alexander did it with the Cardinals late 1920s. Haynes did it. Jim Cott made 17 starts after the age of 40. Adam Wainwright, you would have to think, is going to make a bunch.
No Jamie Moyer sightings on there anywhere?
No, sir. Cardinals had him in the early portion of his career, and then it was something like 24 years later he was still going.
24 years later.
You think I'm kidding?
I'm telling you, I thought he was like 46 or something. How did he not make a start? 24 years later, after his 5th year.
Three and 2 the count. Waino has walked one and allowed a base hit. Bouncer foul up the first base line.
Danny, Jamie Moyer pitched till he's 49.
It's incredible.
He took a year off and pitched again. He pitched in 2010 with Phillies at 47. Didn't pitch in 11 and pitched again in 2012 in Colorado. And by the way, games started.
How many?
10.
Oh, with
and
the
then
Cardinals.
19 in 2010. He started 19 games. That's incredible. His career is so long on here. It took my the entire screen of my phone to see all the years. 1986 to 2012.
Good battle here with Yelich and Waino. So the only other Cardinal age 39 or older, 6 or more starts in a month, and an ERA that was better than what we just saw from Adam Wainwright. You have to go back to 1927. That's the only other time. And it was Pete Alexander, had a 1.17 ERA in 6 starts. So I mean, it's truly historic what he's doing. 3-2 pitch inside corner and struck him out. And that's 3 tonight for Adam Wainwright.
Might be a little payback right there. Jamie Moyer was in St. Louis 1 year in 1991.
Yep.
You're right. 24 years later.
Right. So he gets that call. Did not get the call earlier below the zone on Lorenzo Cain.
Might have been a tad inside.
And there's a ball.
Did you see that? Counsel came out and gave him the fingers like it was this far inside.
Taken there by Goldschmidt to Adam Wainwright, and a 1-2-3. St. Louis on top in game 1. It's 8-0. Louis Cardinals baseball on Bally Sports Midwest, brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals, and by Steel. Find your Steel dealer at steeldealers.com. Cardinals in Milwaukee, wrapping up their 3-city road trip. Began in Pittsburgh, took them through Cincinnati, and now the first of 3 against the Brewers.
It seemed like it's been a lot longer than that. This is one of those never-ending road trips.
A couple of changes for the Brewers. Check swing and did go. Jace Peterson has moved from right to left field. Yelich out, and Jackie Bradley Jr. is in right field. Dylan Carlson, by the way, .346 average this side of the plate. He's been very good against lefties. 0-2 pitch. And did not go. 1-2.
Wow.
Got him to chase, and that ball just exploded away from him. And he struck out now 4 in a row. This guy's pretty darn good.
Oh my gosh.
See why he is considered one of their better pitching prospects.
That caught a seam right there. Did you see that?
Yep.
It was almost like a one-seamer. It's like those, sometimes you throw a changeup and it grabs that seam and you'll see it explode, but has a lot more time to get to the plate and it has more time to move. That's 97 and it takes off. That's impressive.
Yachty breaks his bat. Willie Adames 2 away. And it brings in Sosa, who has scored 2 runs, walked and scored back in the second inning, and had a base hit to shallow right. Scored on the 3-run homer hit by Bader. Adam Wainwright, by the way, through 4 has faced 1 over the minimum. Gave up a base hit to Escobar in the 2nd inning. That was erased on a double play. And then the walk to Kane. And there's ball 1. One and 2 the count. Hit to first, glove by Tellez. Takes it to the bag. 7 up, 7 down for Ashby.
Dixon is a 36-year-old September call-up who's back with the Cards after 8 years in the Japanese League. Oh, and he also won a silver medal with Team USA in Tokyo, and he travels with it. He showed us the medal on pregame. When I asked why he's traveling with it, he told me, why not? If you won one of these, wouldn't you? He said representing the United States was deeply meaningful for him. He told me it's the grandest stage of all at the Olympics. I know everyone wants to be in the big leagues. I totally understand that. I'm grateful to be here. But being on the world stage, representing your country, something that's more than yourself, it takes it up to a new level. Dan Brandon has quite the story.
Jimmy, I loved your interview with him. And by the way, he also has a World Series ring. He was a member of the Cardinals in 2011, which fans may have forgotten about him. Obviously didn't play a major role on that team, and that's outside to Narvaez. But in the middle of the interview, holds up the silver medal. It was
I like
awesome.
his answer. Wouldn't you?
Narvaez grounded into a double play back in the 2nd inning. Good sinking action. Adam Wainwright right now at 22 consecutive scoreless innings. His career high is 26. That was back 2010. And the 1-2.
It's like he's throwing darts, you know? He's just picking his spot. Using the corners, little boxes, and draw a little corner box in each corner and just try to throw it in that little hole. Up and down, in and out.
Gets him to reach again. Soft ground ball. That's part of this too. The soft contact that he's getting. Narvaez, the first out here in the bottom of the 5th. I'll tell you what, Jimmy, there's going to be some teams in the Central that will say to Adam, you sure you don't want to just retire? I mean, he has been so good against Pittsburgh, and now you look at what he's doing against the Brewers. The Cardinals have won each of his last 8 starts in this ballpark. His last loss in Milwaukee was 2012. He's got 18 career wins.
Well, and it's not like someone's going to go entice him to go somewhere else to play either. So either going to face him or he's going to be retired. If you're in the Central.
So the Brewers, those 18 wins that he has, that's the most against any opponent. 7th all time with Jack Morris and Randy Johnson. Against Milwaukee, Bert Blyleven was first at 23. A 1 pitch. Hit out of play.
Just enough cut right there.
I don't know about you, and I've done just about all his games in his prime, and I'm having more fun watching him pitch this year than ever.
I went to text him the other day after his last game, and you know, if you leave your text chain going, it's like, nice job, thank you, nice job, thank you, nice job tonight, thank you. It's like going on for a year. And they're just simple, and then every now and then there's a conversation, and then there's another nice job tonight, thank you.
Ooh, doesn't get that call. That's that pitch again low. He hasn't gotten.
No, then it's low and right down the middle too. It's kind of shocking. It's not like it's low and away or low and in.
1-2 pitch and a grounder foul. Cardinals will have Bader, Wainwright, and Edman due up in the 6th inning. Pitch count only at 61 for Wainwright tonight, who has faced just 1 over the minimum. Ruiz struck out back in the 2nd inning. Breaking ball just under the glove of Nolan Arenado and a base hit into left. And the 2nd hit for the Brewers tonight.
That was his first breaking ball up in the zone pretty much all game so far.
1 out, 1 on. StubHub proud to be an official partner of the Cardinals this year. Plans change. You can easily list your tickets with StubHub. Even use the free seller toolkit. Help you manage the price of your tickets. StubHub. Sell your tickets in just a few taps on your phone. No stress. Download the StubHub app today. Here's Rowdy Tellez, who popped out his first time up. 0 for 1 tonight.
Try to get the ground ball double play right here with the sinker. Watch. Yep.
And that's the ball there that you get him to roll over and get that ground ball.
Little sinker outside.
Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Tony Cruz has caught Waino 2nd most starts. Gary Bennett 2nd most career appearances outside of Yadier Molina. No 6 makes some sense. Waino was a reliever. There's your ground ball. There's your double play. That'll go 6-5. No 3. Cardinals turned one of those the other day in Cincinnati. The oddity of your third baseman making that turn.
Yeah, he's got that bigger glove. Not as easy to get the ball out quick. Just doesn't secure it.
Good lead.
It's just not something he's used to doing every day, and just didn't get it.
And it brings in Lorenzo Cain. Two outs and runner at first. Good cutter. It was 20 years ago. Game in San Diego. Bud Smith delivered a no-hitter for the Cardinals that night against the Padres, and that was just his 11th start of his big league career. No hit the Padres. That was at Qualcomm. He faced Rickey Henderson. I was doing the game that night with Mike Shannon on radio, and that's the final out. We kept saying, you know, he may get this no hitter, but he's going to have to go through Tony Gwynn to get it. Tony Gwynn pinch hit, and I think it was in the 8th. I still have my scorecard. He pinch hit and hit a bullet right at short. And when he got that out, I thought, he's going to do this. Dave Duncan and Tony La Russa were going back and forth. They later would say they were almost hoping he would give up a hit like in the 6th or the 7th and get him out of there, because his only, his 11th start. I think he threw 134 pitches that night. Made only 13 starts after that. It was out of baseball before the 2002 season was over. And now you have this guy at the age of 40 still doing it, still going. Game summary, game 1 of the 3-game weekend series, Cardinals and Brewers. It's 8-0 as we move to the 6th. Waino has been sensational. Arenado pair of home runs. Bader 2 for 2, 3-run homers. Sosa has been on base a couple of times. The BJC difference maker. A lot of choices tonight. We go with Harrison Bader thus far. Has a base hit to center in the 2nd. And then this 3-run homer in the 3rd. Now has 11, and that's the BJC Healthcare difference maker. Well, Christian Yelich was already out of the game. Remember, he had words with the home plate umpire. And then after Kane was just rung up to end the 5th, he was barking at the umpire and then officially out of the game and ejected. So he's out of the dugout.
Struck out, you got taken out of the game, now you've been kicked out of the game.
There's a strike. Ashby has been really good so far. 7 up, 7 down. Came in relief of Topa. Middle of the bat with Tommy Edman. And Bader hits it to short, spinning. Thomas, nice play.
Hanging changeup right there, too. Whew.
Brings in Wainwright, who has a bases loaded single RBI, bringing in his buddy Yadier Molina, and is grounded out to 3rd. It's a time of year, Jimmy, you're scoreboard watching, you're thinking, well, what happens if we can do this and they do that? And it makes this final month so much fun. In the bottom of the 6th, the Tigers lead the Reds 10-3.
It's like March Madness.
A little bit.
Start watching every scoreboard and every game and every inning.
And the Reds lead in the wild card, that 2nd spot, by a half game over San Diego. The Padres are hosting the Astros tonight. Padres have dropped 14 of their last 19. Ooh. They're the Phillies. They are 2 out, and in the top of the 8th, the Marlins, who really could play spoiler. They've got a bunch of games coming up with teams in contention. And the Marlins have a 10-3 lead in the top of the 8th. Fly ball to left. Catch made by Chase Peterson. Sunday, September 12th, 30,000 fans can support their favorite team. The Cardinals. New trendy long sleeve hooded pullover. Cold nights coming up this fall. Get that pullover. Cardinals.com/promotions.
Another nice one.
Phillies had won 6 straight, and barring a comeback that'll snap that. Marlins 10-3 late. That pitch on the inside corner to Tommy Edman. Mets in the top of the 9th. 2-0 lead over the Nationals as Edman sends a fly ball to Jackie Bradley Jr. He'll make the catch. Really good work out of the pen. Settle things down by Ashby. Transmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals at American Family Field in Milwaukee, and Adam Wainwright has been dealing. That cutter has been effective tonight. He has struck out 4. He's allowed 2 hits, no runs, and has walked 1. That is it. Cardinals and Brewers began regular season play back in 1997. Brewers came into the Central, and that was also the start of interleague play. And the Cardinals have the best winning percentage of any team at this ballpark outside of obviously Milwaukee, but the visiting teams, they've really played well here.
It's interesting. Ashby hits from the right side. He's got a big old elbow protector. I think I'd have a bigger one than that if I was a pitcher.
Up and in, 2 balls, no strikes. So he was working as a starter in the minor leagues. So certainly could stretch him out tonight. Wainwright now in his career, ERA is under 2.5 against Milwaukee. That's second behind Roger Clemens, opposing pitchers. 243 strikeouts against the Brewers. And that's 4th best. He's 29 back of Randy Johnson. Bert Blyleven has the most, 312 against the Brewers franchise. There's a strike, comes back, and it's now even 2-2.
You said Bert's name twice, and I was thinking, why him? But then I remembered that obviously the Angels and the Brewers were playing against each other for a long time in the American League. And then the Twins. So it's funny how it completely changes, you know, the way you look at teams. You know, we think of them as a National League team.
Yep.
But they were in the American League for so long.
Brewers trying to ease Ashby into Major League action. There's a curveball, very similar to what they did with Adrian Hauser. Start him in the bullpen and then eventually graduate to the rotation. They feel that he could be in the rotation next year. Did that with Hauser. Tomorrow's starter Woodruff, Burns, Peralta, all those guys. And that's a leadoff walk to the pitcher Ashby. One of the rare mistakes by Adam Wainwright.
He is not happy about it either. You can tell. Body language, everything.
What did you notice about Adam when he first came up? I mean, you saw him in the bullpen, and he started closing games out after Izzy got hurt. But you're playing behind him all those nights. What'd you notice?
I think it was the short arm fastball that was really, you know, it jumped on a lot of the hitters with the movement, the run in. I think the ball used to run more with the sinker, and then obviously the breaking ball. But he would, you know, he would come right after you. You know, he threw the. You think about even just the at bat with Beltran when the whole thing is on the line, and he throws Beltran first pitch changeup, and then fastball, and then curveball. You know, he kind of just mixed it up. And like I said, that fastball was sneaky. The curveball was good. And the changeup, people kind of forgot about it.
There's a broken bat off the bat of Peterson. The turn not in time. So Jace Peterson able to beat that out. They do get the lead runner. Maybe the most famous of his strikeouts in 2006. Pennant on the line, and he freezes Carlos Beltran. The fortunes of franchises were changed with that pitch, and really individuals too. I mean, Beltran is always associated with that curveball in his time playing with the Mets, and he had a fabulous career. But that's what is remembered. Game on the line. Shea is literally shaking. Game 7 of the NLCS.
So loud.
Here's Adames, and he pulls it foul. So you're a guy that would kind of peek in center, and you see what Yadi's putting down. You see that he puts that down. What are you thinking?
Don't hang it.
Right.
I think the bases were loaded, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And, you know, only thing that worries me sometimes about that breaking ball is just that a lot of times the hitter has a chance, if you hang it, to kind of double clutch and put it in play. And Beltran was such a good hitter, and he was hot. And I thought, oh man, don't hang this. You know, I mean, you got it. I'm thinking, don't hang this. And what happens if he does? Where do I need to run to? And so I'm thinking, oh, I got to go back and to the right, as he's not going to hit it the other way. And so he makes the pitch, and Beltran just looks like he doesn't even see it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he just took it right down the middle. How does that happen? After those games, been going back and forth, and the home run catch with Andy Chavez, and then
I hate to tell you, Jimmy, you were doubled up on that play.
I was running around with a dislocated toe, and Yadi's home run, and Taguchi had a home run, I think, in that series. I mean, it was incredible. It was just so much back and forth.
Taguchi had a home run off of Billy Wagner.
Someone else had a big home run in that series, too.
Jeff Suppan is the NLCS MVP.
Pitched so great. I mean, I think we won that game the inning after Chavez made that play. They loaded up the bases or got really close to scoring again. I thought, here we go.
Randy Flores came in,
swung the momentum back on their side, and they got out of that inning. And I think somebody lined out to me, and I just thought to myself, man, we might just escape that. We might have gotten through the momentum shift.
I thought when Chavez made that play, I thought
we were done.
Yeah.
I thought so too.
Jimmy, you can't say that. You were in the middle of the game.
I thought we were in trouble.
Here's a 3-2 pitch. Curveball, and it's hit out of play. Spoke to Jim Leland the other day, and he said that was one of the recommendations that he made to the Cardinals front office at the time, was to go out and get Jeff Suppan. He said, I've seen this guy. He's not going to overpower you, but he's going to take the ball.
Where he was before that? Was he?
Well, he'd been in Kansas City.
Oh, that's right. It was
Boston.
Kansas City.
Pitch with Pittsburgh. And boy, was he big in postseason play. 3-2 pitch. Waino lets it go wisely, and it turns into a double play. 4-6-3.
Great job by Adam right there, knowing where his defense is.
Well, tucked in that dugout is Adam Wainwright, and he's pitched magnificent baseball yet again tonight. Cardinals with a big lead, and with the Cardinals Hall of Famer Jim Edmonds, I'm Dan McLaughlin as we come to you from our Valley Studios here in St. Louis. And Jimmy, it's old Uncle Charlie again. It's been fun.
Yeah, he's done a nice job and really has picked the plate apart, in and out, all over the place, up, down. Maybe one breaking ball hung and then a walk, and that's about it. So far, he's gotten through 6 innings with just 2 hits and has really just done a really nice job of moving the ball around.
Pitch taken low by Paul Goldschmidt, the Gateway Honda home run inning. Honda home run inning. Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation in Missouri if the Cardinals hit a homer. Cardinals have not had a hit since the 3-run homer by Harrison Bader back in the 3rd. All 7 hits coming in the first 3 innings, and Ashby has come in midway through the at-bat with Tommy Edman as Topa had to be taken out, dealing with discomfort in his elbow, and since then he has shut down the Cardinals. He has struck out 4, all 4 in a row, and done a very nice job.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this young man's going to be special. Stuff that he's throwing up there tonight. He's a guy that you're going to need to see a couple of times to kind of figure out the rhythm, and the ball comes out of his hand, and he's got good fastball, good breaking ball, change up, little slider. Be interesting to watch him develop.
Goldie here, then O'Neill and Arenado. That pitch taken outside. So the Cardinals have their first base runner against Ashby. While we have a moment, quick word from Great Southern Bank.
How do you become number one? By focusing on what really matters. And what really matters to us is you. We're honored to be rated the #1 bank in America by our customers, according to Forbes.
A tough night for Tyler O'Neill. 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts.
He did that in the first 4 innings, so thankfully they slowed down the hitting a little bit. He had a chance to maybe have 5 or 6 hit bats and been there as a hitter. Man, it is not fun.
And the 0-1 pitch. You can see O'Neill's just in between, uncomfortable.
Change up right there. It's not a great pitch to do anything with, and it's just had tough sliders from a righty, a fastball. Got really good fastballs out of the starter, out of Peralta, to not do anything with, and then now you get this guy throwing the ball all over the place.
And O'Neill makes up for it with a long one right center. Adios.
Wow.
Number 22 for Tyler O'Neill. He looked lost, but not anymore. 2-run shot and another St. Louis home run.
Well, just like I was saying, he got some pitches that he couldn't do anything with. And even the pitch before this home run was a nasty changeup, but he gets a fastball up short and gets it just inside the barrel a little bit. But watch this. Look at him stay behind the ball right there. Good swing. And he has changed that swing so much, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. Now Arenado, 2 home runs hit tonight. The Cardinals 4 hit in the ball game and a 10-0 lead here in game 1.
That'll sure erase those 3 strikeouts. Take those all day long. They just 1 for 4 instead of having 3 strikeouts. You go home with a 1 for 4, not a bad day.
That's the second time this year he's had 3 strikeouts and then boom, hits a home run. Upstairs to Nolan Arenado. The 2-1. And Nolan hits it high in the air to deep left center edge of the track, and the catch made by Kane.
They closed the windows.
Well, thanks to Tyler O'Neill, $1,000 donated to the Make-A-Wish Foundation by your Gateway Honda dealers. Let's see if Nolan gets one more shot at a 3-home run night. He's done that one time before, and that was in 2017 as a member of the Rockies. And Dylan Carlson digs in, 1 for 3, base hit to left and a run scored.
I would think right here maybe a chance to maybe get a couple guys some of the bats maybe.
Grounder to third, and it's time to stretch. Tyler O'Neill, 2-run homer, his 22nd, and he's driven in 52, just 2 down, excuse me. And now brings in Yadier Molina. And the umpire out to visit with Ashby, not sure as to why.
Yeah, I think I mean, if you're looking at this game right now, 10-0, maybe you get a chance maybe to get DeYoung an at bat, especially with the lefty throwing right now. Not sure how much longer he's going to be out there. There's not really anyone throwing in the bullpen for Milwaukee yet.
A strike to Yadier Molina.
I think the one thing that you do as a manager, though, is you really don't do much as long as your starter's still in the game, as far as starting to shift things around.
A night in which the battery makes history. Start number 300 for Yadi and Waino together as Molina sends it out to deep right. Jackie Bradley is there to make the catch. Now time to stretch. 10-0 Cardinals. 2-run homer, Tyler O'Neill.
Two-run shot for Tyler O'Neill. 10-0 Cards lead the Brewers. Quick update on Dakota Hudson, who was working his way back from Tommy John surgery. His second rehab start was for Springfield yesterday. He threw 2 2/3 scoreless innings, gave up 2 hits, struck out 3. He threw 43 pitches. Dakota told me via text today he's had a normal recovery. He called it a good day overall, but said he's still fine-tuning some things. Danny, some other notes. Mike Schilt says Wade LeBlanc, Justin Miller, and Jordan Hicks will all throw side sessions tomorrow how they look and how they recover will determine the next step for each of them.
Interesting there on Jordan Hicks for sure. Good news there on Dakota Hudson. Here's Bradley Jr. and strike one.
Dakota Hudson looks like he's in shape, doesn't he? Whew.
I was just going to bring it
he's
up.
A little bit leaner and a little bit bulkier
Bigger,
with the muscles, and not like he's been doing some serious work.
0-1 pitch. Nothing in 2. The Nationals have come back late against the Mets and tied it up 2-2. That's in the 9th inning. Tigers leading the Reds 11-4. Top is 7. Padres and Astros just underway. There's a fastball. Well, fun series out west will be the Dodgers and the Giants. First time they have been tied this late atop their division. Dodgers and Giants since 1997 out in the National League West. Marlins beat the Phillies 10-3. Sosa and got him. What a play. Under the glove of Nolan Arenado, and the concentration there by Edmundo Sosa. Nice play.
Not how they draw it up, but what a play is right. I was waiting to see if Nolan had it or not. Give credit to Sosa for just staying with it. The glove on the ground, just in case.
Wow, that's really good concentration there by Sosa. And then Jackie Bradley Jr. almost ran into the
ran over
Rob Drake, the first base umpire.
Good thing there was no argument, or that could have been interesting. You what? See you later.
Here's Eduardo Escobar. So Waino trying to get another 7 innings under his belt. 7 or more in 15 starts this year, trailing only Zach Wheeler, who's got 16 for the Phillies. That's the other very interesting aspect of what he's doing, is piling up innings at the age of 40. I mean, he's got a chance to lead the league in innings pitched this year.
Well, and we talked about this, what, a month ago, that if he kept throwing up 6 and 7 inning games, that he was going to get into the 190s. And yet he's been doing it ever since we mentioned it.
More than likely his final inning of work. He is due up third for the Cardinals, looking ahead to the 8th inning. 2-1 pitch off the plate. That was a 3-1 pitch, and that's ball 4. Saturday, September 11th, 30,000 fans ages 16 and older take home the patriotic baseball cap courtesy of Country Bob's. 4 different styles that you have a chance to pick up. That's September 11th. That is a week from tomorrow. Cardinals.com/promotions for tickets. Third walk issued by Waino. 1-out walk here in the home half of the 7th. Omar Narvaez grounded into a double play and grounded out to short. One ball and 1 strike. Kwang-Eun Kim and Adrian Hauser tomorrow. Lester and Burns on Sunday, and we'll have both games for you on Bally Sports Midwest, and the Cardinals return home to face the Dodgers. The 1-1. He's been staying away.
I literally was just think that whole scenario was every pitch he's thrown him has been away, and if it's down, he's gotten 2 ground balls out of it, and you see if it's up, he'll lean back and try to hit it in the air, but it's almost like he doesn't want to make the adjustment and hitting the ball the other way. He just wants to pull it.
And the 1-2 pitch to Narvaez. Then he goes in just enough, pops him up, and that'll find the seats out of play. Say scramble for that souvenir. Pitch number 99 coming up. Goes down to get it, and just past Tommy Edman into center. Runners at first and second. The soft liner, Narvaez, with just the 3rd hit tonight for Milwaukee. Cody Whitley is throwing in the St. Louis bullpen. One for 2 with the single back in the 5th. Just the 2nd plate appearance for the Brewers tonight with a man in scoring position. Urias hitting .230 in this spot. As Waino has hit the century mark. Pitch number 100 is a grounder foul.
Were you paying attention to that right there? We got a guy on second base, and instead of going to the card, Waino just said first sign when the hitter wasn't looking. Pretty efficient right there. Maybe not to his standards, but to everyone else's. Nice job so far.
TJ McFarland has joined Cody Whitley, the lefty. That's fouled back. McFarland has been very good with runners on with that sinker, gets ground balls, cleans up innings. Cardinals miss Ryan Helsley in those spots. He was terrific this year with inherited runners. No balls and 2 strikes. Rowdy Tellez is on deck.
Gosh. And he is just not giving him much, is he? It was a good pitch, and to be honest with you, with that K zone right there, that's a ball, but that's a ball by a centimeter, basically, or a half of an inch. It's not like it's way off the plate.
The 1-2 doesn't get that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I mean, this is one of these two has to be a strike. The way he's been pitching all night.
Been around the plate for the better portion of this game.
Better portion of his career.
Yeah.
How about that? The old veteran strike zone a little bit. Keep the game moving. 10-0.
2-2 pitch. So the last 2 out, then Paints in. And as a hitter, Jimmy, you know, I mean, you're really guessing right now.
Yeah, you got to kind of try to stop from really, like you said, guessing or anticipating, and just try to see the ball and hit it. As you start thinking, that's when you start getting into trouble. Try to anticipate what the pitcher's going to do. Cutter here.
3-2 pitch, or 2-2. Ground ball. Sosa can't come up with it. Into the outfield it goes, and the bases will be loaded. Ruled a base hit, and here comes Mike Schilt.
Tough play for Sosa, but give him credit going to track that ball down.
So with the left-handed hitting Tellez due up, McFarland coming in. Start number 300 for Waino and Yachty together. 10-0. West brought to you by Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer close to home. And by Budweiser, this Bud's for you. Adam Wainwright over 100 pitches and leaves with a 10-run lead. It's McFarland into the ball game, and he's been your guy with these types of situations to get that ground ball and get out of jams, get a double play. So Chevy called to the pen. TJ McFarland.
Well, just hoping too he doesn't have too much rest where his ball straightens out a little bit.
There's your ground ball. A flip. Oh no, and they don't get any outs, and a run scores.
Well, this is what you asked for right here. Just maybe a little careless, just a little bit. It's just starting to become a long inning. Just try to do something right there in a hurry. It's just a tough, I mean, that's just a weird play, you know, and you don't see it every day, and you try to improvise as an infielder and it just doesn't go right.
McFarland doesn't get that call and kind of looks back at the home plate umpire. Here's Lorenzo Cain, who has walked and struck out. 10-1 our score. Bases loaded here in the home half of the seventh. That's off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Fielder's choice E4 on that play. Cain has 2 grand slams in his career. This year with the bases loaded, 2 for 9, 2 balls and no strikes. Two and 1.
He's a guy you got to be a little bit careful with too, because you can see right there he fouls that fastball back and looks like he's way behind it, but Cain's one of those guys that can look bad on a couple of pitches and then pow. Pretty good athlete.
Daniel Norris, left-hander, throwing in the bullpen for Milwaukee. The 2-1 pitch. Grounder left side. Sosa will go to third. Arenado the force play. Gets to the bag. Aranda score to make it 10-2.
That is the only play right there that he can make. It's going to be a tough play getting Cain at first base the way he runs.
Now your momentum taking you to the bag there, so get the out, exchange it for the run.
It's a good job trying not trying to do too much.
Pablo Reyes will be the pinch hitter. First and second, 2 outs. And ball 1.
I think the other reason I say something about that play right there is just because tendency for a lot of shortstops up and down, young and old, would be to try to get 2 out of that. And 1, there's no way to get 2. And so take the easy out in front of you and not try to do too much would start basically a bigger problem is just making mistakes.
It's been an inning where Sosa's been all over the place.
Yeah.
Ball's finding him. 2-0 with 2 outs and 2 on. 10-2 St. Louis here in the bottom of the 7th.
Wow.
Bases loaded, infield hit. Now Jace Peterson. Peterson, by the way, was DFA'd by the Brewers back on May 24th. No one claimed him, so then he goes to the minor leagues and then gets called right back up. And he's been very good for them. Inside, and it's a ball and a strike. Peterson is grounded out to short. Was robbed on a diving play by Tommy Edman and grounded into a fielder's choice. 0 for 3. Bases loaded with 2 outs. Home half of the 7th. Hit up the middle. There's Sosa. Well, he had a busy inning. Makes a play. 10-2 St. Louis as we head to the 8th. Kim, the lefty, getting the start tomorrow for the Cardinals. Pitched 4 innings in his first start since August 7th on Sunday. Took a no decision, gave up a run. Cardinals were leading in that ball game 3-1. And it was fairly effective on Sunday, and he's up next for St. Louis. The Budweiser What's on Tap, Cardinals and Brewers. And we'll be on the air 5:30 with the pregame show. Daniel Norris, lefty in. Chevy called to the pen, 8th inning. Mets have picked up 4 runs in the top of the 10th against the Nationals. They lead that 6-2. Reds have allowed 18 hits and 15 runs. They're in the 8th inning, and it's 15-5 in that ball game in favor of Detroit. They're in the 3rd inning. Astros and Padres are scoreless, and the Marlins beat the Phillies 10-3. Cardinals a chance to move up in the standings if they can hold on. 0-1 pitch to Sosa. Hits it out of play. One ball and 2 strikes on Sosa. Ground ball to short, and the first out.
See Norris coming out of the bullpen, just another hard throwing lefty, 93. Slider and a changeup, but interesting, these guys come in and they give you a fastball to hit, and then they go to the breaking stuff, changeup, and come right back to the fastball.
There's ball 1 to Bader. Single to center field in the second inning. 3-run homer in the third and grounded out to short. If the Cardinals hold on, Adam Wainwright wins his 14th with an ERA under 3. Cardinals win their 69th. And go back to 5 above the 500 mark. Two balls and no strikes with 1 out, nobody on. And Bader a good hack at it, fouled it back. Two and two. And the next two, Bader pulled foul. Full count. Cody Whitley back up for the second time for the Cardinals. In their bullpen, the right-hander. Four home runs hit by the Cardinals tonight. And they've homered now to season high 9 straight. 3-2 pitch. Fouled back. 7 different Cardinals have 10 or more home runs. It's third most in the National League. Missed it on the pregame show. Jim Hayes reporting the Cardinals put Junior Fernandez on the 10-day injured list. Shoulder strain. Jake Woodford back in the bullpen as Bader lifts a fly ball into left field, and the catch is made. Well, we have a moment. Quick word from the home loan expert, Ryan Kelly.
The only thing faster than the supersonic golf cart is the 21-day closing guarantee. Only available at thehomeloanexpert.com.
Love that golf cart.
What did he say? Supersonic golf cart? I didn't know they had those.
Nice work, Ryan Kelly. Can play 18 even
all the
faster
best
than
toys.
you want.
Where do they get those toys?
Here's Rondon, first plate appearance. 2 outs and nobody on. Pinch hit in game 1 against the Reds the other night. Picked up a base hit against Wade Miley and then was picked off at first. What kind of engine Ryan Kelly has in that?
Oh man.
6 in the third tonight, 4 hits, 1 earned run for Adam Wainwright. He's now allowed 2 or fewer earned runs in 19 of 27 starts.
That's incredible. It's just, you could sit here and talk about it all day long. The last 10 or so times he's been out there, it's just been awesome to watch.
And his ERA drops now to 2.91 on the year. Fought back in foul off the bat of Jose Rondon. Check swing put in play, and Cardinals go quietly here in the 8th. 10-2 our score.
Ballpark Village Studios coming up after the game. We'll have Cardinals Live. Brad Thompson will join us. We'll recap, of course, game number 300 for Yadi and Waino's battery mates, plus the Birds muscling up in Milwaukee. It's all coming up after the game on Cardinals Live as we send it back to Danny and Jimmy.
All right, Scotty, thank you. Cody Whitley into the ball game for St. Louis, the right-hander, back in the big leagues. So Cody Whitley will come into this 10-2 ball game. So Chevy called to the pen. The Cardinals got 2 runs in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the third, 2 more in the 7th. 8 hits, 10 runs, 4 home runs hit. Willy Adames 0 for 3 leads it off, and the first pitch taken for a ball. You couldn't draw it up much better if you're the Cardinals to begin this weekend series.
Keep your foot on the gas.
The fly ball into center field. Bader under it, out number 1. Adames hitless tonight. That's Jackie Bradley Jr. Grounded to short first time up. And there's strike 1. Good changeup.
Really good changeup right there. It was a great location too. Pitch before, kind of up. That one was really nice. Adjustment right there, getting it down and away.
And he struck him out. So Whitley has gotten the first 2 here in the home half of the 8th.
Sliced and diced them up right there, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
2 changeups and a heater.
Eduardo Escobar with 2 outs and nobody on.
You know, I was telling you the other day about spending some time with Gossage and those guys, and they were talking about how to speed up the game was to not let the batter leave the batter's box. Remember, they used to have to make them put 1 foot.
It's supposed to be the same.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be going on now.
Well, clearly that doesn't happen, but I thought it was pretty funny.
They tried to enforce it. They did for a while. There was a point of emphasis. So you might get a letter at your locker or stall.
But that's like, that doesn't do any good because you forget about it the next day.
And then you get fined, a couple $100 for a guy that's making $10 million a year.
Or 20.
And so I've always felt that if you want to enforce it, And there's a rules violation. There's strike one. And same for the pitcher that takes forever.
Yeah.
There's ball one. That's how you get their attention.
But you know what, to be honest with you, I feel like they tried to do that a little bit, and you're putting a lot of pressure on the umpire, and that's not where the pressure needs to be, and you know what I mean, made. And you're right. I'm saying I could see why they don't enforce it that way, because you've just put the umpire as enemy number one, you know. And I think you're definitely right for that. But I think if the league had a choice, they would say, okay, that's probably a lot of heat on the umpire.
By the Cardinals tonight, we've had 4 of them. Nolan Arenado, 2-run shot back in the first. Then he did it again in the third. He's now up to 29. Harrison Bader, 3-run homer. And Tyler O'Neill, who had struck out 3 times, says, don't worry about it. 2-run shot. 4 home runs hit by St. Louis tonight. And it's a 10-2 lead. Top of the St. Louis lineup, Tommy Edman. Arenado, by the way, due up 4th this inning. If the Cardinals can get somebody on, they have a chance at that 3-home-run night. And therefore strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. So the Cardinals get 7 hits in the first 3 innings, then the 2-run homer in the 7th. So much of their offense done early. Then Ashby came in, shut things down, and Wainwright was able to shut down the offense of Craig Counsell. Tonight, Adam Wainwright, 9 straight starts, 6 or more innings, 3 earned or fewer. Pulled fair inside that third base line. Tommy Edman with another double.
Doubles machine.
Paul Goldschmidt, 2 walks, 2 runs scored, 2 strikeouts. Edman, your runner at second base. His 36th double of the year. And a fastball and a strike. Ooh. It was 36 doubles. That leads the National League. Most by Cardinals switch hitters since Felix Jose. He had 40 back in 1991.
That dude was a stud, wasn't he? I mean, like built like a like a linebacker.
One and 2 the count.
See that overthrown fastball right there. You almost have to think that probably off speed is coming next, but you just never know.
Here's a 1-2 pitch to Goldschmidt. 2-2. Goldie sitting on 24 home runs. Ground ball to short. Edman stays put at the bag. And the first out here in the top of the ninth. So the Mets in extra innings. And then they coughed up the lead late. They beat Washington. So now they are back to the 500 mark and hanging around in the wild card. Started 5 back.
Tell you what, it's not very far back.
They're in the bottom of the ninth. Tigers 15-5 over the Reds. 1 out and a runner at second. A pitch in the dirt. Padres 1-0 lead in the third against Houston. Mets final was 6-2.
I felt like maybe a week ago at the most this was like a 2 or 3 team race, and now all of a sudden there's 5 teams within 4.5 games of this wild card race.
Marlins had 10-3 win over the Phillies to snap their 6-game winning streak. 1-0 pitch, 2-0. Nolan Arenado on deck, and he'll have a shot at his 3rd home run in this game and a shot at home run number 30. The 2-0. A's had a 6-run lead in their ball game, and they lose to the Blue Jays 11-10. And that is a crushing defeat for Oakland.
Wow. Toronto scored 9 runs in the last 2 innings.
And they started 5 back of Houston in the American League West. And 3 back in the wild card. The 2-1 pitch to O'Neill. 2-2. No one talks about Seattle. They're 10 games above 500, 4.5 out in the wild card. Toronto 5 back. The 2-2 pitch to Tyler O'Neill. Off the plate, 3-2.
Yeah, that's an interesting one too. Like you said, it's like 4 teams, 5 teams over there too, and everyone like this last month, and that's why they did it. Make it exciting.
Yeah.
Well, they're getting it.
The 3-2 pitch to O'Neill. Off the plate, he walked him. And in steps Arenado. And he's driven in 3 tonight, up to 88.
See the Oakland-Toronto game. They had they were up 7-2, gave up 6 in the 8th to Toronto, and then went back and got 2 more. You got to think, oh, we got it. And then 3-run walk-off with no outs in the 9th.
It's a tough
loss. That hurts. Three-run bomb.
Nolan Arenado, pair of home runs tonight. And that's a ball. Right now Norris can't find the strike zone.
Not with the fastball.
He bounced a couple of breaking balls in to O'Neill too.
I don't know if he was really trying to do that. I mean, trying to pitch to O'Neill right there with those breaking balls. I felt like he was trying to get him to chase.
He's had 1 3-home run game in his career back in 17. The 1-0. Arenado with a high fly ball into deep left center. Just missed it. The catch made by Lorenzo Cain for out number 2.
Wow, that even sounded like a home run off the bat, didn't it?
Yep.
Told you they closed those windows once the game got out of hand. Wait a second. Let's close these windows for a while.
Ooh, just missed it.
Just got underneath it. Oh. Great swing right there. Never know in this ballpark.
Yeah.
You could see everyone's eyes light up.
And now it looks like the medical team again, and Craig Counsell out to check on Norris, saying that he's fine. Runners at first and third. Brewers do have a lefty getting loose in their pen, and that is Hobie Milner, as they work on Norris.
Little blister or something.
The umpire is going to watch how they apply it. He's looking back at his finger, and I would think, though, if you're doing this in a 10-2 game, you probably want to get him out of there. But it looks to be on the top of the thumb,
yeah,
what they're working on.
It's way up there, it looked like.
Huh.
Well, give him some credit, because a lot of guys would come out of the game. Come out of the game with a hangnail.
Dylan Carlson with 2 runners on, first and third. Carlson tonight with a base hit to left, a run scored, 1 for 4. Dixon up and throwing for St. Louis in the bullpen. Off the plate, 2 balls and no strikes. Three and 0. And the base is loaded. Norris has walked a pair. Base is loaded. Craig Counsell is going to take him out. So he'll go to his bullpen with the bases loaded and 2 outs here in the 9th inning. A 10-2 ball game. Milner coming in. American Family Field in Milwaukee, home to the Brewers, and a big night for the Cardinals, leading 10-2, trying to add to that with the bases loaded, 2 outs in the 9th. Waino was very good. Arenado, couple of home runs. Bader, a home run. Sosa 1 for 3. Another started short. Cardinals have hit 4 homers. So Milner in, and the base is loaded for St. Louis with 2 outs. Chevy called to the pen. Hobie Milner. Yadier Molina hit by a pitch and scored. Fly to center, grounded to short, and fly to right.
I don't know if I've ever seen a team have
high fly ball lifted into deep left at the wall. Gone! It's a grand slam on the night in which Yadi and Waino make their 300th appearance together as battery mates. Waino's about to win. Yadi's gone deep with a grand slam. Career grand slam number 7 for Yadier Molina in his first of 2021. Unbelievable.
You can't make this stuff up.
Wow. Kane and Reyes come together just short, and it's a grand slam for Yadier Molina.
That ball hit Kane's glove, I think. It'd be a heck of a play if the left fielder wasn't there. He might have jumped over him. Wow. That slider. Look at Kane coming out of nowhere. Oh no, it wasn't as close as I thought, but wow.
It's a night that's been tough on the Brewer pitchers. 2 of them had to leave. And the last thing the Brewers need is to get somebody hurt in the outfield. It's the first hit this season in Milwaukee for Yadi. He had been 0 for 10 as Sosa lines it foul. And for Yadier Molina, that's home run number 9, and he has driven in 55 this year. And Sosa hits a high fly ball into right. Adios! There it goes. Back-to-back homers. He's saying, no, I almost had it. It was a Cardinal fan.
Hit him right in the hands.
Edmundo Sosa with his 5th home run. And the Cardinals adding to their lead 15-2.
Good swing right there. He just stays back. Doesn't stride. 2 strikes. Oh, he does stride. It looked like he was totally still. Doesn't try to do too much. Just look at the ball carry when you hit it on the barrel in Milwaukee.
Oh,
and
he
this
almost
guy
had it.
chokes.
No. Oh.
Not as easy as it looks. That's going to haunt him forever.
Now it's Bader. What has been a huge night for the Cardinals offensively. Arenado, 2 home runs. Bader, 3-run homer. O'Neill, a 2-run homer. Grand slam for Yadi. Solo home run for Edmundo Sosa. And the 0-2 to Harrison Bader. Cardinals with 11 hits, and 6 of the 11 have been home runs. Taken low, 2-2. And Bader lines it into right field for a base hit. So Milner's come in, allowed back-to-back homers, and now a base hit for Bader, his 3rd hit tonight. Now Andrew Kisner. Two outs, runner at first, and Kisner takes a ball inside. He'll take over the catching duties more than likely. For the bottom of the ninth, Brandon Dixon has had plenty of time to get loose now. And the 1-0. So 6 home runs for the Cardinals tonight. Their previous high was 5 back on April 19th at Washington. And the Cardinals with 15 runs, that also a season high. Previous high was 14 back on April 13th against the Nationals. The 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Out of play. In-game box score, and it's been busy tonight. We had Wainwright in there too. He had a bases loaded single.
You got O'Neill with 2 RBIs, Arenado with 3, Molina with 4, Bader with 3.
Now Kisner hit by the pitch. This inning started with Tommy Edman, who doubled. And he's coming up again with runners now in this inning at first and second. Edman is 1 for 4 with that double. Historic night for the Cardinals, and Waino and Yadi start number 300 together, and they both have had a big hand in this ball game.
Whew. Big hand.
Edman to center, and Kane is there to make the catch. 5-run top of the ninth. Grand slam by Yadi. Cardinals went back to back. They've hit 6 homers tonight. 15-2. Budweiser player of the game. And he's going to pick up win number 14 tonight. 6 1/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, only 1 earned, walked 3, struck out 4. And the Cardinals behind Wainwright and Molina making their 300 start together tonight, rolling in Milwaukee. The 40-year-old was outstanding again. Brandon Dixon, the Chevy called to the pen, the silver medal winner at the Olympics with Team USA. And as Jim told us in his report, and then Brandon showed us, he's still carrying that gold medal with him everywhere he goes.
In the back of his pocket. Pitching with it. It's good luck.
Kisner takes over behind the plate. Lars Nootbaar also in the ball game. And he is in left field. And the first pitch hit out of play. One ball and 1 strike. 6 home runs hit tonight by the Cardinals. Season high. Luke Malley at the plate.
Wow, I don't know what's going on at the bottom of the zone there. Call that a slider, but that almost looks like a breaking ball to me, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I even think I see the knuckle up, like Waino's.
2-1. Malley sends it into the gap in right center. Bader looks up, and it's off the wall. Played it perfectly. Here comes his throw to second, and not in time. Good job by Bader to make that close.
I've got a nice bounce off the wall. Got a fastball up.
The last time the Cardinals had 6 home runs was back in 2016. Carpenter had a couple. Matt Holliday homered. Jed Jerko, Tommy Pham had a pair. And they've got 6 tonight. And with that grand slam, Molina passes the captain, Kenny Boyer, 6th most total bases in franchise history. 3,012. Up next, Enos Slaughter at 3,138. Stan the Man at 6,134. Grounder, fair, inside the third base line. Man, that is behind the tarp. That makes it 15-3.
Kind of an interesting hop right here. I don't know what that ball hit. Just serious. What is it? Top spin.
Yep.
That rubber ball bounce right here. See it bounce back up.
(15-3) after the double by Urias, and now Tellez. Off the plate for a ball. On the air tomorrow, 5:30, Kim and Hauser. Sunday afternoon, 12:30 will come your way, Lester and Burns. Fielder's indifference, runner at third now. Shift on for Tellez, 2 balls and no strikes. Sosa there, run scores, 15-4.
You see that shift right there. You look at the big screen and it looks like they're playing a zone defense. You got second baseman standing out in short right field and right fielder behind him and shortstop over by the second base bag.
And there's a strike. Lorenzo Cain. Oh, and 2. check swing.
See the finger up right there on the breaking ball.
A count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kane lines it into center for a base hit.
Didn't really hit his spot right here. You see Kisner have to reach back over to right to the middle of the heart of the plate.
Pablo Reyes. Strike zone is opening up a bit.
Ooh. Waino's probably icing his arm right now saying, man, if I'd have had those pitches, we'd be out of here already.
Under the glove of Sosa. So back-to-back hits. Runners at first and second. So 1 out, runners at first and second. Daniel Vogelbach. Nobody throwing in the St. Louis bullpen. And 1 out. First pitch is off the plate for a ball. 6 home runs hit by the Cardinals, season high for St. Louis. Also season high in home runs allowed by Milwaukee, 15 runs. Second most Milwaukee has allowed this year. They gave up 16 to the Dodgers back on May 2nd.
Daniel Vogelbach's nickname, Babe.
Two and one. Two and two. The 2-2. Ground ball. Out there, the return, double play. So the Cardinals win it 15-4. and a night in which Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright team up as battery mates for the 300th time. The Cardinals hit 6 home runs, 2 of them from Nolan Arenado, grand slam from Yadi. Adam Wainwright now 14-7, and the Cardinals back to 5 above the 500 mark. 15-4 the final. And a lot to get to. Post-game show comes your way next.
Against the Milwaukee Brewers, Brad Thompson is with us to break it all down on Cardinals Live. Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina crossing another milestone in their storied careers. We'll have more on their 30th start as 2 battery mates, plus the Cardinals muscling up with 6 home runs tonight. More on that. Plus, we'll get plenty of reaction from the Cardinals clubhouse. Stay with us. Cardinals Live comes your way next on Bally Sports. Yadi putting an exclamation mark on this one as he hits his 7th career grand slam, and all Redbirds as they roll over the Brew Crew by a final of 15-4 tonight in Milwaukee. And we update you on the wild card race. New York wins as they come back. Philadelphia loses, and right now San Diego and Cincinnati are tied with Cincy losing to Detroit. You see the Cardinals just a game and a half back for that coveted second wild card spot. Welcome inside our Bally Sports Midwest studios here at Ballpark Village. It is Cardinals Live. Scott Warman with you, joined by the former Cardinal Brad Thompson. And how cool was this evening to see, especially not only Yadi and Waino go out for the 300th time, only been done 3 other times in Major League Baseball history, but Waino going into the 7th inning. Oh, Waino got an RBI and a grand slam by Yadier Molina. How cool was that?
Yeah, it worked out perfectly, didn't it? I mean, that's exactly what you would love to see at a ball game like this. We knew it was historic, but it ended up being incredibly memorable in this ball game. Waino did his thing yet again. Yadier Molina comes up big. The offense as a whole, and just when you watch, when you're looking at the standings there, 1.5 games back of the wild card, this is what it's all about. It's September baseball. You can feel it. You know that those guys specifically, Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina, who have played a lot of October baseball, well, they can sniff that out. They're ready to go chase that down. So it was a great step in that one, an awesome day.
Yeah, how about the Cardinals muscling up tonight in Game 1? It's our Menards big money moments. Brad, you have to go back to June of 2016. We've seen a Cardinal team hit 6 home runs in one game.
Yeah, look, you know this team has some pop, but we've never seen it. We haven't seen it this year come out the way that it did. A couple of them from Arenado, the 3-run bomb by Bader. Tyler O'Neill had punched out 3 times. Then he goes Oppo with a 2-run bomb. Yadi with the grand slam, and then the next batter, Edmundo Sosa says, hey, I'm going to do this. This is a home run parade. I like parades. I'm going opposite field with the first thing that I see. What an incredible day. Offensive onslaught. And remember, this ball game was started by Freddie Peralta, only lasted a couple of innings in this game. So just impressive. A great way to start a series against a division foe.
Only the 9th time the Cardinals have had 6 home run games if you go back to the early 1900s. And I think really to help what the Cardinals did tonight, it was really great to see Nolan Arenado get a couple home runs. We know he's been fighting it here off and on over the last week or so.
Yeah, but the overall numbers have been there, and certainly the power numbers, RBI, I mean, he is shooting up the charts, but you're going to need him. You're going to need him to not just by himself carry you, but he's got to be a big part of the reason this team goes on a tear in September. We've seen Goldie since the beginning of June be on fire. Imagine what this lineup looks like if both of those guys are doing their thing and then everybody else can just kind of settle in. These guys are guys that have carried offenses before, and they can certainly do it for the Cardinals for a month.
Absolutely. Nolan Arenado, our Mid-America Chevy dealer player of the game, and right now he's with our own Jim Hayes. Jimmy?
2-homer night for Nolan Arenado, first multi-homer game as a Cardinal. Nolan, let's talk pitching first. Waino just turned 40 years old. He keeps rolling. He was really good tonight, 6 1/3, 1 earned run. How much fun have you had watching him be Waino?
No, man, it's been unbelievable, man. This guy's just so competitive, so intense, but he's just one of the best dudes out there, and it's just been quite an honor to play with him and Yachty, but especially him. I mean, his at-bats are really good. He's just in his zone right now, and we're trying not to talk about it, you know, because he's just been so good for us. We're just trying to let it happen, man, but what he's doing is unbelievable.
Well, the Yachty-Waino combo, start number 300 tonight. You got to talk about that because that's quite an accomplishment. Just your thoughts on what they've been able to achieve.
Yeah, you know, I mean, just the longevity in this game, you know, just how good they've been, great. And just being here and being a part of the 300th game, it's just been, like I said, it's an honor to be here and just to be a part of it. And I'm just happy we got the win against a really good team, so that was awesome.
You have hit well in a number of different ballparks, but you're hitting 384 on your career in Milwaukee. So I'm going to assume that that's a fun place for you to hit.
Oh, you know, it's just a great ballpark. The fans are great. It's a great environment. Yeah, but the ballpark, it's a good place to hit. So I think that's just all there is to it. You know, those are some really good arms they have over there, and it's a battle. So they're hard to come by, but when they do, it's always nice to have a good day.
When you came to the Cardinals, you said you were excited to be part of a playoff push, and here you are. How are you enjoying it?
Well, I mean, it's been great. You know, we're playing good. We're just focused on the team and just trying to win as many ball games as we can. And we'll see where we are at the end. But I think the focus is great. We're just trying to compete every day, find a way to win. We're facing some good teams down this last month, so it's going to be a grind. But we're ready for it.
Nolan, thanks for the time.
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
Jimmy, Nolan, thanks so much. You know, even Mike Schilt mentioned this, Brad, sometime last week. The Cardinals had just little margin for error for a better part of this 2021 campaign. So it's nice to kind of see a laugher like they did tonight and seeing the offense pour it on like they did again against the division rival.
Yeah, it really is. It just takes a little bit of pressure off. And you're right, Scotty, the Cardinals just haven't had a lot of games like that where it's looked like they're up there just free and easy. It's all clicking offensively. And then from a pitching standpoint, they were obviously when Waino's on the bump, you're not as worried about covering the back end of the bullpen. But you got to go to some arms that weren't your usual suspects. Cardinals play so many tight games. It was good to be on that side of one of these.
All right, so obviously the big night for not only Adam Wainwright, but for Yadier Molina, again, getting the grand slam. Let's go to Milwaukee right now and hear from the Cards catcher.
Just a great moment, just a great day for ball for me and Bueno. But we focus on winning the game. And obviously we know what this day meant for us. We glad that this day come. But we were focused on the game, try to win the game, and that's what was in our mind.
Your grand slam there, it seemed like you weren't happy with the ball when it hit your bat, so you slam it to the side, and then it went over the fence. What did you think about how that played out for you?
I take it. I mean, the way I swing in the bat lately, I mean, it's not good. And right there, I thought I missed the ball. I was mad at myself, but I take it. I take it. I mean, it's everything from now on. You take whatever God give you, and I'm happy for that.
Last one for me. How fitting do you think that it is that on your 300 start with Adam, you and him both played such critical roles in the win today?
What's that? I'm sorry, Kate.
On your 300th start with Adam today, how meaningful was it that the two of you both played such critical roles in the win?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we would focus right before the game. We would focus during the game. We really want to do it. We try to win every game that we can. And today, especially against Milwaukee, they got a great team, great offense. We chasing them, and we trying to set the table, and that's what we did.
Thanks, Daddy.
Zach Silver, MLB.com.
Hey, I am curious, what are you just proudest of over this past stretch with you and Adam, especially this year, you guys being able to do this, to be productive? What has been the most part that you're proud of, just the fact that you guys are able to stay healthy and be able to do this all this year?
Yeah, the main thing is healthy. I mean, Wano is healthy, and he can do a different stop over there in the mound. Locate every pitch that he wants to. And basically, that's what it is. I mean, like, whenever he wants to throw a curveball, he can locate. Whenever he wants to throw a fastball, he can locate. Now he got the changeup. They use him more. You know, he's one of the best pitchers I ever saw. One of the best pitchers I ever caught. I'm just happy for him.
What do you remember about the first kind of starts you guys had together? Do you remember it being as seamless as it was, that you guys felt comfortable? Was that something that kind of had to get learned? And I guess, how do you reflect on the early starts you guys had to now?
Yeah, I mean, like, I can tell you this. I mean, he haven't changed a lot. He not changed a lot. I mean, he trusts me a lot. I trust him a lot too, obviously. And we on the same page every time. I mean, that's the key. I feel like when you have the pitcher and the catcher in the same page, most of the time it's going to be a good day. We went since day one back in 07 when it starts starting. We were on the same page, and tonight we were on the same page, and that's what happened. I mean, he's a smart pitcher. He locates his pitches, and when you do that, you trust your defense, and good thing happens.
Adam has said that his favorite part about his career is that he's able to do this all with you, and I assume that's pretty similar with you. That something you're very proud of is being there with him. Is that a pretty similar sentiment that you have? That something you're going to be proud of?
Yes. Yeah, I'm proud of him. I mean, it's a great honor to be part of this. Just to do it with him in this journey. I mean, he's just amazing. I feel blessed for that.
Derek Gould, St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright hooking up in their 300th start as battery mates together. And you think about it, and Jim, Brad mentioned it during our pregame show, there's only 3 other batteries in the history of baseball that have 300 or more. I mean, this is something that is obviously historical, and I think even Danny mentioned it during the broadcast, the fact that we may never even see this again. I mean, 300 is huge.
I don't think we will. I really don't. I don't think we're going to see a battery sniff 300 games together. But here's the thing. You're 24 away from the most ever. 25 technically to get over the top. That has to happen, doesn't it, Scotty? Like, these two have got to be together. We already know that Yadi's coming back for another year. And we know that Waino, it's going to be a family decision if he's going to come back. It's got to happen. I mean, are you kidding me with the way that this is going right now? It's so fun to hear Yadi talk about catching Adam, talk about the focus, talk about the trust that the two of them have. Let's trust it for another year.
Yadi's needling him, I think, a little bit. I think you're exactly right. All right, as we continue on Cardinals Live, we heard from Yadi. We will hear from Waino when we come back. Yadi and Waino with a big victory for the Cardinals, 15-4 over Milwaukee. Valley Sports is brought to you by Central Bank, the hometown bank of the Cardinals. Visit cardinalschecking.com, and by Steel. Find your Steel dealer at steeldealers.com.
Adam Wainwright will get the start for the Cardinals this afternoon. There's a strikeout to start this game. Next by Waino. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. Oh, Uncle Charlie, bye-bye. And a strikeout to begin the 7th inning here for Adam Wainwright. 3-2 pitch. Got him. Ground ball. He does it. Tonight he gets his 11th complete game shutout. The 0-2 pitch. He struck him out on 3 pitches. Swing and a miss. And 1-2-3 for Waino. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back Ks. 9 strikeouts for Waino. Inside corner, comes back to get him. Swing and a miss. There's that curveball. Wainwright tonight is going to give the Cardinals 7 shutout innings.
There you have it, our bell-tone sounds of the week from the NL Pitcher of the Month and Adam Wainwright. And there is BT and I were just talking about game number 300 as battery mates. There are only other 3 batteries in Major League Baseball history, as you see, since 1908 that have accomplished that feat. And Adam Wainwright, Yadier Molina did it tonight, number 300 in their legendary careers as members of the Cardinals. And for Adam Wainwright, again, Pitcher of the Month in August. It just continues to carry on into the month of September. And BT, I think one of the biggest things that you pointed out during the pregame show is He is getting deep into games, game in and game out. He just turned 40.
It is. It's amazing. And we've joked around about it before, but I'm running out of adjectives to talk about Adam Wainwright and how he's doing what he's doing. It seems like every start there's something different. Here's a look at what he has done this year. 176 innings, tied for second, 3 complete games, tied for first, 14 W's for Adam Wainwright, and a whip just over 1. I mean, he just continues to toy with the opposition. He had the cutter working tonight, tons of ground balls, Scotty. Adam Wainwright, he's got a lot of baseball left in him.
Cy Young, maybe?
I think that he might get some votes here and there. Who knows? It's all about how it finishes, Scotty. Probably about 5 more starts in the regular season, so he's got a chance to keep making a push.
All right, BT, let's go to American Family Field right now and hear from the Cards starter.
I mean, so that felt like, you know, the other 299 times, I guess. I did get a little chill bumps walking off the first walking out of the first inning, and the crowd, you know, there was a bunch of Cardinals fans above our dugout. They were going crazy, and I was thinking, wow, that's pretty neat, you know, to have. We traveled well today. Our fans traveled well. We had a lot of Cardinals in the stands. They were doing the 7th inning stretch, and I heard a lot of Cards instead of Brewers, you know, on the call. So they made me feel special, and Yachty hit a grand slam. It was a good day.
Does it mean a lot to you that it was here where your career took quite a turn there with the injury coming out of the batter's box?
I mean, I've had a lot of good memories here too, though, you know. But that was a long time ago. We've overcome that now. So I hadn't thought about that at all, honestly.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I was struck by the symmetry of it, you know, as far as if you'll permit me then to ask, you know, a while back where you told me when you're at your best, pitching is like a symphony. You can kind of, you know, the music going.
Yep.
So the question is the music back?
Yeah, definitely have good rhythm going out there. Definitely feel like I'm in sync with everything. I'm just going to continue to keep working my delivery really tight, keep working my pitches. I didn't have great feel of my fastball tonight. It was okay. It wasn't great, but just going to keep, to your question, that's exactly what I want to feel when I go out there. Everything needs to kind of, you know, delivery and everything should work together and downhill and right towards my target. But I'm trying to feel like it's a fluid, you know, like I'm making music out there.
Thank you. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Katie Wu, The Athletic.
Obviously, in September, these games are magnified. They're very important. But for you and Yachty specifically, obviously very important as well for tonight. Did it strike you maybe the meaningfulness behind it for you to go out there and have another quality start, for Yachty to hit a grand slam and a very important win for you guys tonight?
Well, I was thinking about all the different reasons why I should go out and pitch well today before the game. But really the only motivation I needed, beyond obviously knowing it was our 300th together, but the only motivation I needed was that it's September. You know, it's my second favorite month to pitch in, and this is when it really gets fun down the stretch. And we're playing against our division foe, who's leading the division right now, and we got a chance to make up some ground on them, and also on some teams that are ahead of us in the wild card. So this is a great opportunity for us. I didn't need any extra incentive than that. You know, that was all I needed, coming in here pitching against a very tough team and a tough place to play ball, where they've got a really good feel for things and great pitching staff, and that just, you know, I didn't need anything more. But the 300 to be able to win today and Yachty to hit the grand slam, that was a special time. And I got a knock. That was big.
That's kind of what Yachty was saying too, is echoing that it was important and meaningful as it was for you too. The focus was just to go out there and win. How much of that mentality that you two share kind of reflect what has made you both so successful over your careers?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how we were taught as youngsters coming up in an organization that was built on winning and expected to win every year and had winning players and guys who've been through World Series and, you know, sitting next to Mr. Gibson and Mr. Brock and Ozzie and Red Changdinks and all these legends, you know, as many times as we did. I mean, that's kind of how we were taught. You know, you can have all your individual goals that you want, but at the end of the day, the W is the most important thing that there is.
Thanks, Adam. Congrats.
Adam Wainwright speaking with the media via Zoom as he picks up another win, and he always has to stress when he gets another hit in the game, doesn't he, BT?
Yeah, look, he takes it serious. Remember earlier in the season, he was hard on himself. Like, there were some opportunities to drive in some runs. He didn't do it, and he went back to working. And that's what it comes down to, and that's what he always puts a bow on it at the end, talking about it's all about the W, whatever he can do to help his team win. But I was really starting to think about it when he was talking about, you know, Bob Gibson and Red Changdinks, just all the Cardinal greats throughout the years. That's Adam Wainwright. Yep. That's Yadier Molina. I mean, these are going to be the guys down the road where they're going to come and be around the team and be in the clubhouse, and guys are going to be like, oh, my gosh, hey, that's Yadi and that's Waino. Should we go talk to him? Is that okay? Yeah, it's okay. You know, it's going to be awesome. I mean, these guys have been so much fun to watch. They've been such great representatives of the organization of the game of baseball. But, again, they're not done yet. Like, this is not the swan song right now.
All right, when we come back on Cardinals Live, we will hear from the Cards skipper, Mike Shilt's team with a big series opening win over the Brew Crew in Milwaukee. The game summary, the Cardinals with the victory, 15-12 and run one as they leave 4 runners on base. Milwaukee 4-9-0 as they leave 6 runners on. Yadi with the grand slam, his only hit of the evening. Nolan Arenado with a pair of home runs and 3 RBIs. Waino going 6 in the third as the Cardinals are now 5 games above 500. Let's send it back to Milwaukee and hear from the Cards manager Mike Schilt. It's brought to you by the Painting and Decorating Foundation.
That's about as good as it gets, man. It's just magic, and way to commemorate an amazing, impressive milestone from 2 super impressive Cardinals. Just not enough superlatives to. Sorry, I might have to sneeze. Thank you. Sorry about that. Yeah, not enough superlatives to really do it justice. And, you know, magical night by 2, you know, magical players. You know, Waino, 6 scoreless in control. You know, also got him a base hit, which I'm sure he's going to relish as well. And then, you know, Yadi with the big grand slam to kind of put a punctuation mark on it. But amazing accomplishment by 2 amazing Cardinals.
Like, I know the work that goes into scouting the opposition, and I wonder if, like, you just enjoy watching the guys go about different ways of attacking people. Just the way, I mean, I think Waino threw about a third of his pitches, you know, 100 pitches, divvied up almost by thirds, curveball, fastballs. He offered a guy a different look almost every time and expanded the zone. I wondered if you just enjoy seeing, after all the preparation, the art.
I love it. I'm a big art guy in this game. You know, there's a lot of science in it. It's sitting, you know, a little overwrought with science. That's another conversation. But I love the art of it. I love the strategy of it. I love the execution of being able to have a game plan adjust. Those 2 are fantastic at it. They game plan very, very, very well. It's one of the reasons they've been able to reach the milestones they reach. And then they're able to execute, then go off script if they need to. But Waino was fantastic with really 4 pitches. His sinkers, you know, his cutter was really good tonight. His curveball is always, you know, a good pitch for him. And he threw some really nice devastators that, you know, helped offset the timing of, which is what pitching is, the offsetting hitting timing, hitter's timing. So, yeah, I just love watching them be able to go out there and have a clear plan on what they're doing, then go about executing it and make adjustments when needed.
You talked to us a lot about staying present and working on one game at a time. Do you think it's also important for you all to send a statement to other teams that you're still in this?
I don't think there's any question. I mean, that's what we're playing for. We expect to play well. We expect to, you know, continue to play well. We expect to, you know, compete and shake hands every night. So you know, we make a statement ultimately to ourselves, and we take care of our business, and, you know, however people perceive that, they perceive it. But, you know, I know where our headspace is at as a team, and, you know, we're charging forward, full steam ahead.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Zach Silver, MLB.com.
You guys, we've talked to Yadi and Adam all season about their milestones. You know, always happy and always excited to talk about them, but only especially when it comes after a win. And obviously that happened today. And just how much does their mindset sort of team first and putting other guys in front of them? You know, obviously they have big days, but the first thing they kind of talk about is the fact that they're able to do it and they'll win, not just set an accomplishment on their own, right? Yeah,
that's why they have been such a great tandem, because, you know, not only they've done it together for a long time, but they've won. You know, there's a lot of special memories with those two, you know, ending World Series and National League Championship Series. And, you know, those guys, that's why they show up. They want to win. And there's a reason why this club, with those two at the helm on both sides of the ball, the pitching and the defense, and then the offense with Yachty. And, of course, I don't want to slight Waino on the offense either, but, you know, they've been successful and helped us win games, and that's what they show up to do. That's what this is about. They're here for rings. They're here to get victories, and you know, surely they appreciate and are going to get recognized continually and be memorialized for the individual achievements. But those guys show up for their team first and foremost. That's why they're tremendous leaders and tremendous players.
I think I want to ask Adam about this.
Continue on Cardinals Live on Ballet Sports. Yachty with the Grand Slam. Redbirds win it. Can they make it 2 in a row? We'll preview that next.
So we update you on the standings and the scores this evening. There you see Detroit all over Cincinnati and Miami, all over Philadelphia. By the way, the Mets did win, so the Cardinals gaining some ground. And there you see San Diego has just tied it with the Astros in the bottom of the 6th as they're playing at Petco. Coming up on Saturday, it's Game 2 between the Cardinals and the Brewers from Milwaukee. Our coverage here on Bally Sports gets underway at 5:30, and BT, the lefty, KK, will get to start in Game 2 for the Redbirds.
Well, let's pick up where we left off in Game 1. KK's coming back. It'll be his 3rd appearance, his 2nd start since going on the IL. And the key for KK is just continue to build up. They got the pitch count in the mid-60s last time. But, Scotty, we know this about Kim. When he is on, he gets outs quickly and in a hurry. A lot like we saw Adam Wainwright. Tons of ground balls. That's my expectation for him in this ball game. And against Hauser, look, just have that good, simple approach. We've seen a couple of days in a row now. The Cardinals' approach at the plate has looked very good. Let's hope some of that long ball success carries over to Game 2.
All right, BT, let's get to your final thoughts.
Well, I think that 300 games together is something very special. Congratulations to Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina on that. And congratulations to the Birds on a big day. 6 home runs. You start off this series in a big way against the Brewers. These games are all important, Scotty. Great start.
See if it carries over to Game 2. Our coverage on Saturday gets underway at 5:30. We'll see you then here on Bally Sports.